So how are you?
I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm okay. I'm okay. It's been hard. Should we record?
Podcast.
How does it go? It's like a
Yeah, I.
how are you? I'm good.
I'm okay.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
And then that's the brink of crying of. I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Uh,
I'm more of a. Do I look like a muppet? And then there's one that pushes her hair aside to see
Yeah.
her face. Everybody's been telling that I look like a muppet. Oh, okay. So
God. Huh, what's up? Oh, well, the thing. Okay. You know how they say that thing?
Sama, I'm on the edge of my seat.
The edge of my
I'm on
seat.
the edge of my
Okay.
seat.
Well, let me tell you.
Tell me, please.
When you
Uh-huh.
step on a crack,
Oh,
you know
like
what
a crack in the
happens?
pavement.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of those cracks
Yeah,
when you step on one of those,
yeah.
you apparently break your mom's back when you do that.
Okay, now the Adele song "Hometown Glory" makes so much sense.
I know.
Because she says missing all the cracks in the pavement.
Yeah, because you know do that.
And I think I talk about things.
And if anyone knows about motherhood, it's Miss Adele. Let me tell
I
you.
talk about things that are so mother
Mhm.
that I do keep skipping those cracks.
Yeah.
How you been?
How have I been?
It's been 2 weeks, but it's also been like 4 weeks because I didn't upload the last episode.
Yeah, but it's also been like 4 years, but then also yesterday.
But also, when you blink and you look in a direction, it hasn't
It
passed.
has not passed.
In the big sculpture of God's line on this earth, nothing has happened, but also
Yeah.
everything has happened.
Yeah.
I mentioned God.
You mentioned God.
Let me tell you something.
Tell me something.
I've spoken to him recently.
Okay, play it. What do you say?
So my mom has some health concerns,
Yeah.
and my life has been going downhill a little bit. But I was like, so I heard that about my mom, and I was like, I am still in a like, I don't care, like I'm
Yeah.
not. But I had an earnest like, if there is something
Yeah.
out there
Mm-hmm.
pulling the strings,
Yeah.
put it all on me.
Yeah.
Don't let anything happen to that woman.
Yeah.
She does not deserve
Yeah.
this treatment that she's been given in life. I absolutely am fine with this treatment that I am having right now.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I can handle it.
Yeah.
And she can too. She's a fighter.
Yes,
And then I went,
and then I went, it's probably nothing.
it's probably nothing.
Whatever.
And then I went, tee
No, I think your mom's gonna be okay.
she's gonna be so fine. That's the thing. The thing is now, like, everybody is causing her stress, and everybody's calling and being like, "Hey, how are you?
What do you want?
What do you want?" And it's especially my grandparents from my dad's side, and I'm not ashamed to say that I just cannot stand them
Yeah.
anymore. It's a level of selfishness, and
Yeah.
because they're like, we're calling. That's what we're supposed to do. You're calling because you're bored today,
Yeah.
and you don't have compassion. So these conversations mean nothing to my mom.
And it's also you're just doing it because you're supposed to do it. There's no level of I understand that you need my help, so I'm gonna do what you need me to
Yeah.
do. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do.
No, because
And that's
even
annoying.
my mom right now doesn't even need a compassionate conversation.
Yeah.
But you're giving her not even that.
Yeah.
So that's the issue right now. Both our lives have changed
Yeah.
intensely recently. I have gone into like a weird phase before I got sick of being like, it was such a weird second where I was just like, I have it worse than anybody. And now that I genuinely can say that I have it worse than anybody, I'm like, that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's gonna start? Who should start?
Okay. I feel like I want to say more, so you start.
I feel like I want to say more. So I'm kidding. No, because you have a lot of things that you didn't say
Yeah.
on the air. Mine is way like, it's a break.
Yeah.
In one moment, and that's it. So the guy that I've been talking to, that I've fallen in love with doesn't like me back in that way, and it was confusing because it was a thing that it so it we did originally start going into like being like, ooh, this could be a
Yeah.
conversation,
Relationship.
relationship, and then he was like, hey, no, because of
X, Y, and
our
Z.
our both mental health, because
Yeah.
I don't love myself and you have your issues, we would just kill each other. And I was like, I don't understand how you don't love yourself,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I'll force myself to understand.
Yeah.
Sure.
But slay, I guess.
Let's Leia, I guess. We don't talk for like a year properly. He in the meantime gets a boyfriend.
Which,
Um
a gut punch.
kind of. He was
Yeah.
like, and he told me about it. He was like, I just started feeling comfortable in my own skin, and I'm just like, and now looking back, I'm just like, why do you keep digging this grave?
Yeah.
I do not care if you think that I'm an annoying autistic person.
Yeah.
Tell me,
Yeah.
like, hey, I like talking to you this way. I don't like you as a partner.
Yeah.
I am so at ease with that.
Hmm.
But being this, also, you're putting the onus on my mental health. And now in this, so we didn't talk for a year, then we started liking each other's Instagram stories and then talking again and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's all very half flirty. So the onus is on my mental health that because when I finally had the conversation of like, I know that you don't want me. And I know and I was like, I'm starting to have a crush on you again. He was like, yeah, I know, and don't, because I told you before I don't have those feelings for you. I'm like, you
No, you
didn't tell
didn't.
me
Yeah.
before. You didn't tell me before. You told me something else.
Yeah.
Which now, okay, now if we're standing by that, if we're standing that it's my mental health problems, you read motherfucking Heartstopper
Yeah.
and you read this cute little gay novel
Yeah.
about this bisexual boy with no problems in the world except oh my god his brother doesn't like him now that he's bi, and this little twinky gay guy who's a nerd and who's like he was bullied and of course the bullying isn't properly portrayed in
Yeah.
the thing. It's a distant memory now,
Yeah.
and he was bullied and he has panic attacks, and then sometimes he doesn't eat and faints and he has anxiety, and I'm
I'm right here.
like fuck off
Yeah.
that you think that that's so adorable,
Yeah.
but then you come to me and it's like this is too much, and I'm like every single person who is above a certain maturity level will be too much for you,
Yeah.
because I'm not saying that every person above a certain mentality level is this like that has a mental health
Yeah.
problem, but it's there is a level of intensity
Yeah.
that comes with
Yeah.
a level of maturity, and I'm just like I don't know, it's a big thing, and I told you recently I have the weirdest time with him right now because I have so many like this is weird and fuck you, and I feel like I'm never gonna find a boyfriend, and like
Yeah.
also because of everybody's comments about my appearance recently I feel ugly as shit. And then like all of these things are coming to me, but to him I'm just like, oh, whatever, you're my friend now.
Yeah.
I don't, I so
Yeah.
don't give a shit about it in a weird where it's like I'm not convincing myself.
Yeah.
We're just it is weird to me because I would know if I'm convincing myself,
Yeah.
but we're talking and I'm like, yeah, this
Yeah.
thing.
But is it like less interesting?
It definitely is. I'm
Yeah.
not denying that in the slightest, but I'm saying it's like I see the like porn guys he likes, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you slut, and he's like, ha ha ha,
Yeah.
and he goes like, I wish I could find his nudes, and then I go like, here you go,
Yeah.
my personal archives,
Yeah.
and then he's like, oh, I'm gonna treat you so well when you get here, and it's like, don't do those jokes around me, and that it's like,
Yeah.
that without me being like, don't
Yeah.
do those jokes around me. For
Poor
I am,
little
for
thing.
I am but a frail lady in the eyes of what you could do to me.
Yeah.
No, I'm just like, I'm over you. Fuck you. Like, um, no, and I'd probably also plan on having the conversation of like, you read fucking Heartstopper, and then my mental health issues are problems.
Yeah.
You are reading a thing that actively romanticizes what I am,
Yeah. And you're completely just
and then
being
it's
like,
like, so
no.
pick a lane,
Yeah. Pick
um,
Illy.
pick a lane. And then my mother also had her health problems that I don't want to talk about that much because that is a level of like seriousness that I can't really get into.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no. Then, uh, it was Monday at work, and so it was like the thing with him happened. So I'm distraught. I didn't cry a single time because I find it hard to cry, very hard. Like especially on my thing, I have to say things.
Yeah.
I have to say, and I have to have that moment of like, because I'll tell myself 1,000 times, oh, it's so like he doesn't love me, and I'll tell myself 1,000 times, I don't think anybody will love you, and then like the first time I go like, I don't think anybody will.
Saying something to somebody else makes it real.
Yeah,
As long
absolutely.
as you're in your own head, you're like, okay, whatever. But then as soon as you get to like, and then this, you're like,
Yeah. Now close the door, please. Um, it's I cried about him once, and he is to this day one of the two men that I've cried about
yeah,
that didn't like that isn't like that, one of the two men, like I'm in
yeah,
love and I cried. One time was you were there, like you brought me home from,
yeah.
and but it was a thing of like whenever I go somewhere and experience some of the homosexuality that's experienced there,
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, the missed opportunities that I have.
Yeah,
So like when I was in love with the guy from Zagreb, I was like, I wish I could actually flirt with him and
yeah,
actually go out with him and shit like that. But also like if I put that guy, it's like looking back, I put this guy from Zagreb on a pedestal,
yeah.
being like, "You're so smart, you're beautiful, you're everything." How didn't you find a boyfriend in Zagreb? If like, where's the
If yeah,
logistics? Where's the logistics? Because
yeah,
like in Sarajevo, it's still like the scene is up and down, and we
yeah,
like clicked in a way where it's like, oh, you don't click like
yeah,
this with somebody else. So that makes sense. But like back then, like I'm thinking you're so like.
yeah,
Meanwhile, you have to fall for like a guy 2 years younger from fucking
yeah.
buttfuck
From
nowhere,
buttfuck
Nevada.
nowhere, Nevada. Yeah. No, I'm so sick of characters of people.
Yeah,
You're not a human.
yeah.
And that, like, there's so many people who are just living their lives as like a bot, and I mean
Which
it.
is which is so weird for I mean me to say
Yeah,
because you say this to me, being like I can talk to you about this nilly willy,
yeah,
but I am so like I'm a nerd. Bite my leg. Look at all my Batman shirts.
yeah. And but it comes with understanding that that's not who you are.
Yeah,
You know,
but that is
it's.
who I am.
But I know, but it comes from like a. I have an interest. It's not
Yeah,
a thing of because people will take
it's not
on a
a thing of like
personality of
yeah.
either I am a angsty, cynical type person, or I'm like I love nature and like everything around it, but then like not and or
And then
this
but you've
whole
never been outside and like
exactly this whole like you to just pretend to live their lives, and it's so movie like you see personalities in people that are like, oh, I've seen that in a sitcom
it's
40 times by now.
it's almost as if Hollywood has infected their brains. They
Exactly.
wanted kissing in the rain.
Yes.
Oh, 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 oh! Living in that movie dreams, puking on, living in the movie scene, puking on
Yeah.
American dreams.
And I'm so tired of seeing that in people, and it pisses me off. Because, like, okay, so there's this girl I work with, and her whole thing is being angry, and I'm like, you're not actually angry though.
Yeah,
Like, you're just screaming for no reason,
yeah.
just for the sake of being like,
I get charactery at work. I
yeah,
know, I
but
know what you mean.
yeah,
I mean, I understand that you're talking about like full
yeah,
time, but I know what you mean because I do that at work where I go like I never say materet except at
yeah,
work.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I get a bit like
Street.
working hard or hardly
Yeah,
working. Like I get
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
But
but that's like
I'm always
stranger.
Garfield. I'm
Yeah,
always Garfield. I
yeah,
always hate Mondays. I always love
mhm,
lasagna.
yeah, you are.
Just fucking love
But
Garfield.
no,
Um,
that pisses me off, and I need to stray away from people like that completely because I'm like, you're just draining me because I see right through it, and then it's annoying because I see right through it. And then I can't stand you because I'm like, you don't know who you are. Fuck off.
I just don't. No, it was a hard time. It was such a hard time because I came to work on Monday and I was just shaken. I answered to a mail and I was like, because like my eating disorder took it up again. I started vomiting more, and I was just like, "Hey, boss lady, I can't work.
Yeah.
Like I've been on the shift 10 minutes and I threw up. Like I can't." And she was like, "Okay, go to your doctor." And I was like, "Okay, bye." Went to my doctor. She was so understanding. She was so like, and it's I understand why some people have a hard time coming out and thinking that Bihać is a setback place.
Yeah.
But if you take the step to come out,
Mm-hmm.
you would see that it isn't that.
Yeah.
Except I understand parents are a problem.
Yeah.
I get that. I will always understand that. But everybody, I'm so like never hiding it, and it's like she goes like sexual partners, and she goes like, ah, yeah, I've had a few, and she's like, do you wear protection? And I was like, oh no, usually we just suck each other off, and she's
Mm.
like, okay,
Yeah.
well, like there's no reaction to the fact that it's two men,
Yeah.
like it's and shit like that, where it's, and I talked to her, and I was like, I have had a so there's these issues like with my mom here, and then it's cried at her office, but it's not just, it was not just because of him, it was because of everything.
Yeah.
Like you won't get that point. You won't get it. You deserve the one time we both cried about it not working out. You don't deserve my tears
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
You do not deserve my little
Yeah.
crying
Outburst.
games. You anyways, cried at her office, and I was just like, and this, like, I've experienced this kind of a breakup thing because it's, in the gay situation. I was like, you know how it is in the gay situation.
You woman with a husband and 3 kids.
And then she was like, I usually write down everything that happens in a session. Is there anything you're not comfortable with me writing down? And I was like,
Which
that
is
is
so
such
brilliant.
a
Yeah.
such a good step, and such a step that probably most doctors do.
Don't. Yeah.
And no, I would say most doctors do.
Really?
Because like I love her, but she's, before her I had a doctor who's like been a doctor her whole life.
Mhm.
She's a fresh like off.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
she
but I'm thinking most people wouldn't think about it, and the fact that she did, she was,
I bet there was like a, you got to think about the
yeah,
confidentiality of your
yeah,
patients. So like something like homosexuality is,
yeah.
anyway. So
I
that
think
was it.
when it comes to coming out genuinely, I think a lot of people, it's kind of like gossip, and I feel like because you came out so early on, the people just don't care anymore at all.
Absolutely.
So
The
it's like,
hardest part is the coming out.
yeah,
But that's the thing. After you come out, I'm not gonna stand here and say that I do not get mean looks, that I
yeah,
do not get, but mostly it's primary school children
yeah, and it's
and high
people
school children.
just being so like, okay, this is old news, so I don't even care to
Like
like
mature
spit on
people,
it anymore, you know?
who know me, they're just like, oh, look at that gay guy.
Yeah,
Like it's nothing
yeah,
else. And it's, I understand that some of you don't want that attention on yourself,
yeah,
but also like to get that attention, you got to have a moment of notoriety,
yeah,
which I have had because of my rampant alcoholism through my teen years
yeah,
and the status of my dad as a fucking high school professor and shit like that. But I understand that coming out, the hard part is your parents,
yeah,
and then you can, but it's not as a setback place as
yeah,
it is. I mean, we joke about the fact that I've couldn't have a job because I'm gay, but
mhm,
it's, probably wasn't that.
yeah,
But it was, I feel like it did came from a place of popularity, which
yeah,
is what the
weird.
fuck. Um, but but I was so I got a sick leave from till next Monday, and I was like, okay, and then I took a few days to like really relax, really like, and it's like I didn't feel guilty about it being a sick leave because I really wasn't good. Like
Yeah,
I was at home just being like, being at work would just be worse.
yeah,
I'm not good now.
yeah,
Got a fucking like humongous Lego set, and I built it and it was such a like a day. Like my mom's doctor friend came, and they threw her like child at me, being like, "Hey, play with him," and it's
yeah.
like a girl child, and I don't get girl children,
It's
but I
okay.
don't get any of her children. Her children, she has 5. I don't
Wow.
like any of them. They're spoiled little brats. And at one point, I just took her by the neck, and I was like, I mean, not lifted, but I was like, here, come with me. And then we went into the living room, and I was like, take care of your child.
Yeah,
And I went back, closed the
yeah,
door, put a chair on the door.
yeah. No.
Because I was like, it was my day. I was
Yeah.
supposed to like just build Lego and
Let
that's
me
it. Like,
build my Lego.
because that's meditation
But
to me.
don't put these immature people around me. I'm gonna build my Lego.
No, because she was like, look at this, look at this, and I was like, okay, go play with them. I'm not
Yeah.
being prissy, like, ooh, display pieces.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm just like, here you go, play with them, because I can rebuild them in a
Yeah.
second if she breaks them. That's not the question. And I was like, here you go, play with. And then she's like, I want to do this, and she's like, I want to build with you, and I was like, that you can't do that.
That's not happening,
This is
baby.
this is a big set, and this is not you cannot do this. And she was like, but I want to, and I'm like, the second I say no and you continue, I am
You're
calling you
getting
a
decked in
rapist.
the
I'm
face.
calling you a rapist. What's a rapist? um, and then the day after that, actually 2 days after that, my throat is starting to hurt a little bit. So, and we're supposed to celebrate so it's Friday and we're supposed to celebrate on Saturday. Um, I just Friday, my mom's like, "Hey, can you walk with me to the hairdresser in case something happens?" You know, I'm like, fine. I go with her, and I'm just like, my thing is, I get a bit diva-y
Mm-hmm.
in a way of like assuming that people just know. Because I was like, I got sick, and I was like, Mom, my throat hurts a little bit, and I was like, that should indicate to you that I feel like I'm about to faint.
Yeah,
You
did I
know,
feel
like,
like I'm gonna die right now?
and I was like, Mom, let's just go home. And then I went home, went to bed at 12, just woke up 12 hours later.
Yeah.
And my parents didn't notice. They were like, oh, he's just sleeping.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I was having dreams about um, people putting us in prehistoric nature builds
Just
to
like,
see how we will react. And that I would wake up every 2 hours and I
mm,
would feel like I'm in it.
yeah.
And then I'd go like, no. And then I told you about this. I had to actively be like, John, you have to say stop for it to stop. And that was
Yeah.
me like waking up.
Hmm.
That was like, "Ah, I don't want to be a monkey." And then I finally woke up, and it was my mom like, "You didn't tell me," and I was like, I don't." And it's not like a thing of like, I don't want to bother you. I'm just like, you should know.
Yeah. You should feel it.
You
You
should
should feel
feel
the
it.
way
You
I
know,
feel.
like before when I think we have to change it.
Yeah.
Before when I would go to Priedor and my friends would be like, "What the fuck, you're in Priedor?" I'm just like, "How do you not know that I'm in Priedor? You should know everything about." I feel like it's because I'm such a person. I'm just such an I'm such a person. Um. Anyways, I'm just so I fall down sick. The next day, I fell ill. The next night, the fever dreams are a bit wild. I dream about my um I dream about my cells fighting for my life. And it's a,
Honestly,
and it's like
love.
a
It's like a
strategy
battle. Yeah.
like a war situation about my fucking.
Just
And it's not inside.
sickness.
It's everything like on my
Yeah, yeah,
skin, like
yeah.
how they're crawling and fighting and shit like
That's
that.
fun.
And I'm like, it's not, because it's the waking every 3 hours and being like,
Where are the bugs?
where am I? So I'm like, a typical man taken by the common cold. I mean, not the common cold, but
Just, yeah.
the last time before this, like, because this is I will not be ashamed in saying that I did have a conversation with God. But before that, the last time I genuinely prayed was when I got sick, and I was like, God, take me.
Take me.
I don't.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Like
Just,
I don't care if it's hell.
yeah. Just do something.
Just finish it. You
Yeah.
know. Um. So yeah, got sick, and then I didn't work for 2 weeks, and now I'm back at work. And the thing that fixed me the most, I have a trainer at work, and we share the same name. And he is first of all, he is beautiful. He is
Beautiful.
beautiful. Like what a pretty man. Like I was genuinely, I'm like, you shouldn't do this
Mm.
because I am not focused
Yeah.
on what you're saying. I'm just looking at you.
Staring at
And it's and I'm like, hey, you're so beautiful. And he's like, thank you. You know, like
Yeah.
it's we know. One time I was in the office And he was like, also, I gave him a chocolate. I gave a few people that I know and like
Yeah.
chocolates. And he was like, why are you bribing me? I already like you. And I was like, first of all, I'm really glad that you already like me. Second of all, why would I be bribing you? You don't have any power in here. And he was like, fair. And it's
Yeah.
like, fun banter. And then he was like talking to somebody and then like fake whipping him.
Mhm.
And I went like, you can't do that to me and Nadira because that would not be a punishment for us.
Yeah.
And then he looks at us and thinks. And he goes like, nah, you're too young for me. And that's like,
Yeah, it's
what a
adorable.
great way. And also putting the two of us in the same,
Yeah.
like, you both would have the
Yeah,
chance.
yeah, yeah.
It's, um, love the guy. And then, and he goes like, Kuss Augelein, which means like, kiss your eye, like cute word
Mhm.
for eye. And I'm like, do not refer to me in a affectionate way as I, because it's a German and Bosnian thing to go like
Yeah.
okana, oko, shit like that.
Oh, come
And I
on.
was like, don't do that because, and I was like, I'm freshly heartbroken. And he's like, kiss your soul. And I was like, he says that I'm like, namaste.
Namaste.
Um,
Live long and prosper.
hey, you know what it
That's
is.
what it is.
I showed the like Star Trek
Yeah.
sign. Um, and he was just like, "Hey, do you need somebody to talk to?" And I'm like, "No, it would be embarrassing." And now I wish I had the opportunity to explain it more because he was like, "There's nothing to be embarrassed." Like, because I was like, "Because I'm a tough gay, not a cute gay." What I wanted to say is, I feel awkward talking about falling in love and being in love
Yeah.
because it's a level of vulnerability that I'm not used to.
Yeah.
I'm used to other levels of vulnerability where I'm like, yes, this is what happened to me and I went through it and I'm strong.
Yeah.
And or like this thing that happened with my mom. I'm just like, I can talk about it to friends. I would not like to talk about it here. But like I can talk about it to friends being like, this is very natural. Of like, of course I'd feel vulnerable here and of course it's hard hitting. But with love, I'm just like I'm reacting to it this
Yeah.
weird way, and I don't want you to see me this crazy.
Yeah.
And everyone's being so like understanding and shit, but I'm just like it's especially towards fucking that colleague. And then he was like, "Hey, nature's your friend, and everything will pass." And we have like an actual conversation. It's nice, and he's like, "You will find somebody." I didn't find anybody for 40 years, and I was like,
How?
"Oh,
Yeah.
I bet you were just very not interested in a lot of people,
Just
or you were
didn't.
very oblivious.
Yeah.
Women were throwing themselves at your feet, and you kept being like, "Why do these women fall
Yeah.
at my feet?
What's wrong? Is it the heels? What's that?
These women keep making me dinners. Why? Do they think I'm too skinny?
They're
Do they
just
hate me?
nice.
Hate me? Do they
Think
think I'm
I'm
too
ugly?
skinny and ugly and disgusting?" Um, but no, and then I went like, which is kind of a catchphrase of mine. I always go like, he goes like, everything will be fine, don't you worry. And I go like, I know, John always bounces back. And then I forgot that we shared the same name, and he goes like, it's in our name. And I was like,
Aw.
that's so nice. That's like, I was like, okay. And it was a slow day at work, so it's not like it got me through the day. I'm just
Yeah.
like, it got me through
Yeah.
life. I just like, and it's funny because there's two names that you can use for the two of us. One is incorrect,
Mm.
and one is correct, but not politically. So you have Trainer John and Gay Trainer John.
Yeah.
Because there was a joke that I like introduced the new fires once, and it was like, oh, now we used to have a Trainer John and a non-Trainer John. Now we have to have a Trainer John and a gay Trainer John. Like, and then John, the other one, came into it. And he was like, "Hey," and corrected it, being like "gay Trainer John" with like capitals.
Mhm.
And then there's like Big John and Small John
Yeah.
because but it's Big John because he's older, but he can fit in my pocket.
Yeah.
He's tiny. I mean, also
Tiny.
I'm a very big guy. Like
Yeah.
I'm both tall and wide. And then it's like small John, and I'm just like,
Where?
where? That's Small John.
Yeah.
That like look at like I'm
I'm a
pointing at my
big boy.
feet. Like um. So no, that was fun, and no, it wasn't. The conversation with the trainer was fun, but I am still at a weird point in my life where I'm like I don't feel attractive anymore, and it's weird. It is sad that it depends. and dependent on a man. And it is not healthy, and it is not. I don't recommend it. But like, what can we do? We all
It does,
falter.
yeah.
Like, it's not something you can just control.
Yeah.
It's I feel unattractive. Why? Because this guy, it didn't work out with this guy, and if it did, I would feel attractive. I also don't feel attractive because everybody and their fucking mothers, especially their fucking mothers, find the right to comment on my weight. I told you like one time there was like a special needs kid in my primary school, and I always hated how they treated him. Not in a way of like everybody bullied him, but like everybody just gave him fives, and then he was fives is the best grades here.
Yeah.
And he just grew up to be like a selfish brat. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I always was like, it's not you.
Yeah, I hate the
But then people were like, you
it.
just hate him, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I don't. Anyways, one time he was passing, and I said hi to him, and his mom was like, how do you know Ahmad? And I was like, it's John. And she's like, oh, she came like sat in front of our like
Balcony.
sat on the balcony, like leaned onto the balcony. Our dog was barking at her,
Yeah.
and I was like, can you step away? And she
Yeah.
goes like, he won't do shit to me. And I was like, if he, and I said like, hey, if he bites you,
Yeah, it's on you, bitch.
yeah. And then she was like, ask for help, something around her phone. And then she goes like, you really? And then like mimed with her arms
Like,
that I'm fat.
yeah, just
And I went like,
put on a few, huh?
yeah. And I went like, yeah, I did. And she was like, don't anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm
Okay,
like,
lady. Sure.
where's
You
the?
got it.
Oh, you seem like you've got botched plastic surgery. Stop
Yeah.
that too.
Fully, just at this point, just go like, yeah, and you look like you're going bald. Maybe don't.
Yeah.
Just, I'm like,
I'm so over it.
Yeah.
So over it. I'm just like, my grandparents are coming tomorrow to visit, and I just, if they start talking, I'm like, listen, you have 10 minutes. Say all
You
the.
know, 30 minutes. 30, yeah.
No, not 30. I'm like, you have 10 minutes. Say all the fat comments you want. Say whatever the fuck you want about college, and then
Yeah, I'm done.
either don't talk. Like, if you mention it, I'm going away.
Huh.
Like, there's. I'm contemplating just being like, oh, Selma needs me, and then fucking going to Tazim.
Come staying here.
Yeah, just sit here. So yeah, that's what's been happening. Of course, there's something that has been happening to you that also involves me to an
Mhm.
extent, and is also part of my story.
Yeah, so the news is I'm going blonde.
Oh, yeah, and I've been really helping you.
Yeah,
because I'm blonde.
yeah, it's affecting you a lot.
And I've been and I've been telling you go blonde.
Yeah.
Because when we met, I mean not met, but when
But-
we started hanging out
yeah.
more, you were blonde, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
And now I'm blonde, and now I'm like, hey, you can just use blonde.
Just do blonde. Yeah.
This turned into like that's seriously what I said.
Look, so, okay, so no, I am going blonde.
But you're also a single flop Tina.
Because I heard blondes have more fun. And also I heard single people have more fun too.
You wanted to match.
I wanted to match, the
Yeah.
vibes are there. Okay, so me and my boyfriend broke up. It's weird.
You broke up with your boyfriend.
I broke up with a girlfriend.
Don't do that.
Don't
Don't hide away. Don't hide away. Don't hide away. How are you?
I'm okay. No, so it's a
It's
thing
funny
of
because I talked about my problems for like half an hour, and now because I have a lot of insight in this, I'll also talk
yeah.
a lot. So
No, the thing is, it's a thing of it's been a long time coming type of a situation
for you,
for me.
Yeah.
And
we can find comedy in it.
yeah,
How will we live?
how will we? The thing that I wanted is hey, if he listens to this, I want to say what I have to say,
Yeah. And it's like we're past the point of no return.
Yeah.
Of like, I don't care if you change everything now, which he's doing.
Yeah. No, the thing with that is like he made it a point. So he came back as like a surprise thing, and I was gonna wait until because he was like, I'm gonna come by around Halloween or like around New Year's, depending on if I can get any time off, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
And then I woke up one day, and it's so weird that that's the day he chose because I was really manic that morning. So I just pulled everything out of my closet of like all my clothes, everything. And I was just throwing shit away and like just going crazy. And then he knocks on my door and I'm like, okay, hi. And so like all of that, whatever. You come by, I think the next day, and you're supposed to spend the night.
It's I have not yet like broken it off with my guy.
Yeah.
I'm just in a high level of it's hard falling in love.
Yeah.
I was in a manic state of like it's hard to fall in love.
Yeah. No, the thing is, so we're all sitting around, and okay, so the main issues regarding our relationship is very like
Him not listening.
not listening, just negativity, constantly putting himself above people, but then it comes with so much insecurity to a point where it's so evident and so painful to watch. Then the mommy issues. Then like and there's so many different things that I've kept trying to pull him away from that I've kept trying to not fix but be like, hey, be aware of this.
Yeah.
Be aware of the fact that
And
this is
so that
happening to
you can
you.
fix it.
Exactly, so that you can fix it, so that you can be happier. And I keep telling him, like, if you continue being this way, I can't take it anymore.
And nobody will be able to take it.
Exactly. And you will be alone. Like, you will
Yeah.
end up being alone in this.
Or you
because
will end up with like a manic pixie.
yeah, like somebody who's just gonna be like, yeah, the world sucks, and I agree with that, and we're just gonna be miserable together, and that's it.
Which
And
is gonna
it's
be
like,
so funny because we'll talk about something like um we'll talk about the topic
mm-hmm.
nowadays. And one of my favorite characters is Cold Hearted Cynic.
Wholehearted sitting. Okay. Oh, is it the donkey?
Yeah, Benjamin.
Yeah. No, so I'm very like, and this is something that's from the point of when we started dating, it was at a minimal. It was there, but it was very like, it wasn't that intense. And then it just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And it got to a point where like, first you're treating me like shit, and I keep bringing you back. Like, I'm not the type to be like, hey, what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing. And then pout about it.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I tell you every time directly, like, hey, this
Yeah.
and this and this was the issue, and you did
We're
this.
both that bitch.
Yeah, because I don't see the point of that.
My problem is I don't pout. It doesn't hit me instantly.
Hmm.
So I'm like 6 weeks later
Like,
when
hey, wait a
when
minute.
I'm playing video games, I'm like,
No, wait.
wait, you called me a bitch.
Yeah. No, but he'll like, and there's so much to it. Like, there's so many examples of it happening over and over again. And like, I didn't talk about none of it on here, but it's like, okay, so this apartment we're supposed to do together. We're supposed to like go half and half on everything. We're supposed to live together. It was supposed to be a step that we agreed to take together towards something bigger, right? Because you keep telling me, like, oh yeah, all these things that you want, I want them too. Meanwhile, I know you don't. I know
Like
that.
that's the firstest problem
Yeah.
is I know that you are saying
Yeah.
this because you know that I want it.
Yeah, and because you want to appeal to me and because you want to stay in this relationship, but I'm like, neither one of us is going to end up happy in
Yeah.
that situation.
Also,
Because,
you decided that I'll be happier in this apartment.
yeah, you made the decision for me.
I mean,
So,
okay, yes, you are happier in this apartment. The thing is,
but it was my decision to make.
it was first of all your decision to make, but it's not. You're now happy in this apartment because you have gotten used to how much money you got to spend on this apartment.
Yeah.
You were not ready to spend this. You were not ready to take this risk,
Yeah.
and
And I didn't know
God
how.
knows if it's a good risk.
Yeah.
Like God knows
And
what
I've
else we
kept
could have
saying,
found.
like, even when I was like, okay, because first, okay, I moved out the first time. I was in that apartment for about 3 months. Shit happened where I had to move back. Doesn't matter. And I moved back home, and it was hell. And yeah, sure, I didn't want to be there anymore. But it was a thing of, I already decided I'm gonna look for a new apartment. I had price ranges. I
Yeah,
had certain things that I set in place, and then he goes and we have a conversation about should we live together and like maybe we can do this, and you agreed to that and you said yes and we would live together and all these things, and then you made the deal about the price of the apartment without even asking me,
yeah.
telling the landlord, being like, yeah, this price works for me. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting next to you, but I'm like, okay, fine, it works for me too, because it is like half of that is what
Yeah.
I was willing to pay anyway, so if we're gonna do it together, great.
Also, horrific businessman.
You know. Anyway, like that's one of the things. Then like he fucked me over with that is not living with me, which is on a thing of a deeper level of you fucked me over about one of the biggest decisions a couple can make.
Yeah.
And second of all, you fucked me over money wise
Yeah.
because like I've been working for 4 year, almost 4 years now. I don't have a single penny to my name because I'm living paycheck to paycheck
Yeah.
every time, every month because I have to, because there's no other way, because I have to pay for all this by
Yeah.
myself, and I didn't expect to do that. And like that's the biggest
And
thing.
also, a worst part for you is that it was just like a, hey, I can't.
Yeah, there was never a conversation about it. There was never anything about it, and the main reason is not anything other than I can't tell mommy about it.
Yeah.
Like that was the main problem of his as to why not, and that I can't live a life with a man like that.
Yeah, of
Because,
course.
like, if we are going to build together, then it's supposed to be between us. It's supposed to be our decisions together. Not, I don't want to listen to what your mom has to say about my life. That
And
makes no
it's
sense.
also like, even if you change, if you, so you are now, you, like the boyfriend, you're now working on yourself. We can both appreciate that and be like
Yeah.
that. So congratulations. But for so long, it's been a past the point of no return.
Yeah.
And for so long, it's like,
So, like, how many punches
it's
can I take?
how many punches can you take? And it is healthier for me to move on from you than to try and rebuild my happiness.
Exactly. And it's also healthier for you to find that within
Absolutely.
yourself because you've been so dependent on certain things in your life being perfect.
Having a girlfriend.
Having a girlfriend, being a good son, finishing college, getting a job after college, then getting married, then doing all these things. Like, it's
I
so
don't like
planned
things
out.
to be good. When my paycheck lands, I just want to get rid of the
I
money.
just want to get rid of the money. Take it from me. No, but it's like, it's such a, like, your life has to be perfect. And then if it's not, you're going to go down a spiral. And, like, that's life is going to happen. And I cannot handle that with you.
Yeah.
And then whenever I have something going on that is shitty or that like a fucking neighbor pissed me off or somebody ran after
You
me,
will
I
make it
can't tell you.
worse. Yeah, because you will make it
Yeah, I
worse. You
can't tell
will.
you because you'll be like, "Oh, go kill them now." And then it's like I have to talk you down. I have to calm you down when it's something that happened to me. You know? Like you made everything about you every time anything fucking happened.
Yeah.
And it's so there's that. Then there's the constant lying,
You know what
which
I feel
hmm,
like about that the biggest problem is with the relationships we have with other people. The relationships that, okay, I'm not saying like my relationship with this guy. I'm saying like the relationships where we are the most annoyed
hmm,
is where the other person is very selfish.
yeah.
Because I've talked about family friend McGee so often.
McGee.
Um,
McGee.
and he comes from this point of selfishness and performative empathy
Mhm.
of being like, I've told you this is where I draw the I completely am ignoring his messages. I'm just like, he was like, "Hey, are you good?" So we had a conversation. He had something happen to a coworker of his. It is very sad. I understand, and he feels bad about it
Mm,
because you feel bad about what happens to your friends. I
yeah.
completely understand that. He's like, "What can I do?" And I'm like, just
Yeah.
listen, and you can, like, God forbid you make them some food because
Yeah.
like maybe those people can't eat right now.
Yeah.
Maybe they would feel guiltier and worse
Yeah.
because they're like, I should eat,
Yeah.
and this person is giving me food, so I'm being not being a human right now, not being like, there's so many
Yeah.
things
There's
that
so many
you
people
don't
who
think about.
don't want to be pitied.
He texts me 2 days later, being like, "Hey, how are you? God, I wish we lived closer. I would make you like so many
Yeah.
brownies." And I just text him like, "I'm not good. I can't eat. I don't want to talk."
Yeah.
Being like, "Okay, you're a person that's learning. Have these hints."
Yeah.
He responds with 5 messages, each a minute apart, being like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Hmm.
Sad emoji.
Yeah.
Wish we were close. Something like, and it's like, I said, don't want to talk. You were sending this because there's a difference of like sending a message instantly, being like, "Hey, this is good," you know. You're sending this 5 messages because you want me to reply,
Yeah.
and if I'll reply, I'll rip your head off.
Yeah.
So selfishness is the
Yeah.
biggest.
No, but it's also such a like you're so sad. You're so to a point of like you don't have like you think you're above everything, but you have zero interest of anything. And it's like our values differ. Our everything in our lives is so you don't understand me. You know, like I can't tell you about the music that I like because you don't like music. I can't tell you about how good a movie is because you won't get it. I can't tell you about because you don't have that side to you, and that side is something that is important to me. And like I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I know there are people who feel things differently, and I know the people have things that they're better at than other things, and da da da. Because I'm like I know I'm not good at science. I'm not good at math.
Yeah,
I'm not good at any of these things.
I told you about that today, where I was like, um, I was thinking about something. Yeah, I was today. I told you. Imagine if I just settled for like a local gay guy
Yeah.
here who's not that worldly.
Yeah.
Like it sounds dumb, but like, how can I be with somebody who will be like, who's Whitney Houston?
Yeah. It doesn't make sense and it doesn't work. And it like and I kept
And
trying
even
to
if you don't know who Whitney Houston is, I want to be able to play some song and you go like,
ooh.
ooh, I feel this.
Yeah.
Like I feel what she's feeling. And maybe Whitney Houston's not your thing, but like Tina Turner, Adele, like
Yeah.
anything that for you to be like, not to be like, yeah, but Silvana,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
for you not to be like, yeah, but this thing
Yeah.
that differs so much that is not like
Yeah.
art. I don't know what the fuck
Yeah.
Silvana does, but um, it's
Yeah, it's
there.
all the
I went out with this guy a few times, and I was like, okay, this is a great example because like
mm,
I would date you if I was straight,
mhm.
but you have not watched The Simpsons your entire life.
Yeah.
I went on a few dates with this guy, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm watching The Simpsons because I was really big into Simpsons at the
Mhm.
time." I was like, "I don't know this
Well,
guy." And he was just like, "Oh, The Simpsons." Like, weird, you know?
mhm.
And I was like, that will never work.
Yeah.
Because you accepting Simpsons as a weird quirk about me.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you don't watch The Simpsons religiously, but
Yeah.
you're like, I understand that it's a show that is, classically loved and that is it's a famous thing
Yeah.
and you like this show out of a point of matureness
Yeah.
and lovingness. And that's the big difference of being like hearing something like The Simpsons and being like, huh,
Yeah.
like real wow, The Simpsons?
Yeah.
Okay. But being still like understanding that
Yeah.
like we won't work
Yeah. I know. I
because
know what you
you
mean.
there's what other example was it? Oh, like I was gonna say like it's okay to be confused by somebody liking something. But for instance, when I go like I love the Muppets, my friend goes like, "You got raised so American,"
Yeah.
and that's like you understand
Yeah.
my point of view and where I'm coming from, but you're not understanding anything about what I love.
No, it's a thing of you. Not only do you not understand it, not only do you not love it, but it's like you look down upon it. You look down upon everything that I enjoy. And it's
Yeah,
like, meanwhile, you have zero enjoyment in your
yeah,
life. So then why are you telling me that you're somehow better
yeah,
or like you know more? So that,
yeah.
like,
Also, one of the, okay, let's also say this. One of his favorite movies is a movie that you really don't like, American Psycho,
yeah,
and you never took a moment to make him feel
yeah, like,
better for liking American
yeah.
Psycho.
But even American Psycho, I feel like you don't like it because you like it. You like it because you're supposed to like it.
I
You like it
understand. I
because you
understand.
read about it
I
and you're like,
understand, but you're coming from a point like you are, even though you hate this movie and you have these opinions of this movie, you never were like, you're dumb for liking this. The
yeah,
same way I was like, about this guy, I was like, I never thought I could like a Marvel fan this much.
yeah, but here I am,
Here I am, and I will,
sucking dick and cock.
and I
Uh,
will talk to you about my opinions about Marvel, but I'm never gonna be like, you're an idiot for
yeah.
liking it.
No, it's not only that, and then there was so many things of I genuinely couldn't like. You'll create situations in which I'm supposed to enjoy myself. Like, okay, you got the Adele tickets, and you know that I love Adele, and
Hmm.
you did that out of love for me and out of like I know she loves Adele, so I'm gonna get. But then at the concert, you're just standing there.
Yeah,
And like they're like and in general like so many things and meanwhile
and also,
I'm sitting over here being like okay he likes chess, let me learn how to play chess, and
yeah,
I did, and I am the one now
yeah,
like it took me a month to be like oh strategies and like all these things
strategies.
strategies and like all these things to like actually get into it. And I did, and I fell in love with it because you liked it,
Yeah.
and I have to now force you to play with it.
Yeah.
Like there are things that break my heart like that, where like I tried and you're not appreciating it.
Yeah.
And then the only thing that you have to say about me that's quote unquote negative is like, oh, we're not having sex as much as we used to. And it's like, well, think about why.
Yeah.
Think, why am I at this place mentally where it's like, I can't look at you that way anymore because of the amount of times that you lied to me about stupid shit, by the way. It's genuinely the example of like, what are you doing? I'm drinking coffee. Meanwhile, you're drinking tea, like for no reason.
Yeah.
Of course, that's going to piss me off. Like, I would genuinely appreciate it more if it was a lie of like, you're cheating on me and you're lying to me about it because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, there makes sense.
Yeah, I
I
understand.
understand why you would lie to me about that. But there are things that are just, you just do it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
And then constantly being late and me constantly being like, hey, it makes me mad that when you're late because that I feel like you don't respect my time, you don't respect me, and like all of these things. I cry to you about it, and then the next day you
We forgot to buy batteries. Sorry, I just remembered.
and the next day you're late on purpose just
Yeah.
to be like, I'm the man.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to get over that over and over and over again just because, oh, I'm sorry and I'm an idiot and I'm dumb and I did this. I don't know why I did it. I'm sorry, I'm stupid. And then do it again. And then it got to a point where like I can't stand any more of
I
this.
can't teach you
I can't.
because you have time and time again proven that you did not learn the lesson.
Yeah. So I'm supposed to just wait. And then this last time he came by and he was like, oh, I'm going to see an actual psychiatrist. And I don't know, like I'm
The
going through,
psychotherapist, like,
yeah, like a full on thing. And I'm going to actually try to do this and all this. And it sucks, but it did get to a point where like, I don't care anymore.
yeah.
I'm happy that you are. And I genuinely
But
wish
it
you the
will
best.
never fix this.
It won't fix this because shit has happened that I can't
Yeah.
get over. And that's another thing that I kept telling him is like, you could turn into like the best person in the world,
Yeah.
but I will have resentment and I can't let go of that resentment. And I know that that's a flaw in me, probably, but I cannot.
It would take so much work for you to be happy with him.
Yeah, because it keeps hanging over my head all the times that you purposefully
you've
hurt my
already
feelings.
worked so hard on him for so long.
Yeah, I've put
And why
in.
do you need to work hard for a longer time?
Yeah, I've put in so much of my time and my energy into trying to make you a happy person
Yeah.
because I'm not expecting you to give me the world. I'm
Yeah.
doing it because I want you to be happy because I will internally be happier next to someone who's happy, obviously.
Yeah.
But to like, I'm not asking for something grand. I'm
Yeah.
asking for yourself to be happy.
You're not asking for him to turn into me.
I just want you to be a good person who's happy with his life, and you're not, and that sucks. And I'm sorry, but I can't
be
keep.
with you. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't keep up with your turning tables. Okay,
I can't give you.
what you think you gave me? Let's talk about that for a second. So anyway, it got to a point where we broke up. Where actually it prompted it up because of what you said. Where I don't know, there was a joke that's been made.
It was like she said something like, "And when I do this," and I'm like,
Yeah, it pisses her off, and then he's like, I'm running out of whatever, and then you're like, well, we're running out of patience.
"My autism solves many things."
And he got butthurt about that, and then he left. And then the day after, we went shopping, and then he picked us up, and then he dropped you and Amra off, and then we started driving, and he's like, well, what did he mean by that? And then he got so angry, and he was like hitting the wheel and all this shit, and I'm just sitting there like, well, what the fuck did you expect would happen? And like, is this the first time that you acknowledge that something is wrong? That
Yeah.
like you, and I feel like genuinely it came from a place of like, oh, she's telling other people, that means it's real.
Yeah.
Because as long as I was telling you about it, it wasn't an
Yeah.
issue. Like you didn't think of it.
No, but it's also didn't you for a millisecond think that I am affected by the things that you do because you are
Yeah.
treating me as a part of a couple
Yeah.
to some extent. And it's like the things you say to me are hurtful.
Yeah.
The things you do to me are hurtful. I mean, I pretend like it's not that I pretend. I'm just like his promises never meant anything to me, and
Yeah.
isn't that sad?
Yeah.
It was like we'll all go to the beach next year, and I was just like, okay,
Yeah, it's not gonna happen though. Because there's always something. There's always a reason. There's
yeah,
always an excuse. There's always
because I
like,
know that you're just saying this in the moment. Because I've had people like you.
yeah,
The difference is they have to get drunk to get this way.
yeah, yeah,
It's like there would be like depressed little guys, and then they'd get drunk, and then they'd be like, John, I actually like you.
yeah,
And I remember like it was such a moment of realization for me when I had a guy who was just so like I need this guy to love me. I
yeah.
need this guy to because we became friends about I don't know whatever, but he became friends about him making me feel better.
Mm,
First,
yeah.
doesn't work. Dysfunctional family relations, and the
Well,
meatballs
it's wound up.
they end up being
Right.
burnt. Um, and then he stopped caring about me over. I mean, he got more emo and emo over time, which is the only way I can describe it to be
Yeah.
honest. And then he'd get drunk, and he's like, "I'm so sorry. I love you. I love you." And I was just like, "This means nothing to me.
Yeah.
This means nothing to me." Because like, why can't you hug me when you're not?
It's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then this is like whenever he'd say something, I'd be like, okay,
Okay,
I
sure, Jan.
sure. Unless I see like actual plans being made, I would
Yeah.
not get excited about anything. Also, even if plans are being made, so like, did you never stop to think like, okay, when Salma goes like, I'm not having a good time because you're bringing us all down. Did you
Yeah.
ever think that I was in the back?
Yeah.
Just because I have this ability to like disassociate and play my little video games in the back.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that it's okay. No, I remember like I think we had three major fights, like big fights,
How
and
what's my percentage in that?
two of them involved you. I think the first one was, and I don't even know if you remember this, but when we all went to spend the night at his place.
Okay, I remember it.
Yeah,
Wait, which time?
like I think the first when
I think
his
that's
fucking
I
pizza got cold and he wanted to kill both of us about it. Remember when we
I,
went to spend the night at his place?
I think that was the second fight if I'm being honest.
No, the
No, it
second
wasn't.
fight was when he was about to punch you,
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
and
Okay,
then
no, that was I was the order was
yeah,
messed up. I remember I slipped over and I was just so like,
because like you were being such a dick to and then you would get happy for a millisecond and then both of us would get excited about the fact that
yeah,
oh you're having fun and then instantly would just switch back
yeah,
to being a dick and then
yeah.
it just was like a roller
And
coaster of
then I'm
emotions of
the thing is you go for confrontation, I go for like let's just enjoy the moment when we can.
yeah but he'd like it pissed me off it made me like you are
I
not
know I'm not saying that you're in the
yeah
wrong
I know
here. It was just like
no but then
and then
like
it seems like I'm having fun, which is like
yeah
I'm not. I'm actually feeling stressed because
yeah
I feel like the good times of the people around me are on me, and that's my cross to bear. But it's a pretty cross.
yeah
It's kind of fun. It
yeah
has swings.
but it like it all stemmed from you being just so bad. You treat people so badly all the time.
And
And
also
you
it was the
always want excuses, but you're never the one to give them to people.
also
Like, he got so mad at you for making that comment. And I'm
yeah
like, you literally wanted to punch him once.
yeah,
And the only thing he said is like, oh, we might be running out of patience with the shit that you do.
which is so like
So mild.
yeah
So nothing. And then you are going to be like, oh, like just shit talk about the fact that, oh, how dare he say this. Meanwhile, you've been a dickhead to everyone who knows. And it, like, not even just us. Like, first of all, even with your mom, you have this like high issue of like, I need my mommy to like me and like all this shit.
yeah.
But you're constantly lying to her about everything that's going on in your life. You're constantly just like diminishing everything that that woman put into you and into your life by doing these things, by lying to her, by manipulating her, by sitting like portraying this image of you that's not real. And then also with the whole like, please love me, she won't because you're not growing up. You're
Yeah.
not creating a man out of
Do
yourself, a
you
human
think
out of yourself.
seeing a 24-year-old man be like that, like, do you think she'll get your respect?
Yeah, do you think she'll be like, yeah,
My thing
that
about
guy?
that night is I was really hurt because I was like, I was just like, it's my first night sleeping over at your place.
Yeah,
I'm still kind of nervous about men. I get to this day. I mean, it's a thing that never leaves you about like
yeah,
my relationship towards men, and I
Mhm.
just felt really not invited to their
Yeah.
home. I felt, I, I don't know.
Like shit, and you make everyone around you feel like shit, and then you're like, no, but why, and everything's always everybody else's fault, and all this crap. Anyway, the point is, I went on the tangent, and I told him, like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And then when we were in the car, he had the point of like, oh, well, I can't make you do anything. And like, that's how you feel, blah, blah, blah. And then we came back here and I was like, okay, so you have an understanding of that this is going to be a breakup talk, being like, okay, let's sit down and let's talk nicely. And then we did, but we just like started talking about random shit.
Yeah,
And
it
then,
took a while to get there.
yeah,
Because I
and,
remember the thing that broke my glass. Because I was like, for a long time, I was just like, it's fine, it's fine, it's
mhm,
fine. And then one time I was like, it's also off my meds. It was like something bad happened to him, and the first thing he wanted was us to feel equally as
yeah,
bad. And he instantly started putting down what I'm doing.
yeah,
And I was like, I'm hurt by that, but I'm just gonna fucking ignore it. Like
yeah,
I'm having so much shit that the only thing that I can do to you right now is attack you.
yeah,
Like actually attack you. And he was like, someone told me about this, is it true? And I was like, yes.
yeah.
And he was like, we're gonna have a conversation about this when we see.
Never
Never
happened.
happened, and also I'm not the one who hurt somebody to start this conversation.
Yeah,
You know that you've hurt us.
yeah.
That's so
It's your job to,
you already
yeah,
have the responsibility.
yeah,
Know that it's your responsibility to start the conversation, and you don't.
yeah. No, you don't, because the whole thing is like, okay, everything is fine now. Let's just all like chill, and like everything else that has happened has just been erased, and that's not
Yeah,
how it works. And again, with our whole entire relationship, after so much shit that happened between us, the only complaint you have about me is that, hey, we're not having sex as much as we used to. And is that not like tell you anything?
yeah. No, it's
Like I could have done the same shit to you, but I didn't.
yeah.
And I kept my composure and I kept my like, hey, I still love you. I still have care for you and I'm still gonna
I'm
like,
still his friend, and I'm not saying this as a. I'm a saint. I'm
yeah.
saying there are like I still like you.
Yeah.
It's of course I love you. I've spent 4 years on you. I'm gonna love you.
Yeah.
There's no. That's not a thing to be questioned
Yeah.
from my side. Like I'm a loving person.
Yeah.
If there's anything that's been proven for me is that I have a lot of love to give.
Yeah.
I love. The other day I was talking to Amara, and I was just like, we were talking about how Hayao Miyazaki and I'm Junji Ito. So Hayao Miyazaki is like he makes Ghibli movies,
Mhm.
and which are the most beautiful, like love humanity.
Mhm.
And then he's just like, I hate my son, and I hate this, and I hate this, and I'm afraid of people, and I hate how people treat each other, and I think the world sucks,
Mhm.
and like that's Amra, and then like Junji Ito makes a horror manga, and he's like, I love cats,
Yeah.
and she's like, you see, you say that you're that, but you're really not that cute, and I was like, what do you mean? And she goes like, well, I've heard you on multiple occasions say, I hope she dies,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. And I was like, I'm joking. I was
I'm
joking.
just kidding.
I wasn't joking.
Um,
But I do have love in me, and I do still love him. But the thing is that's shocking is that I still like him.
yeah.
That I still am like, and I was like, yeah, I'll still be your friend.
Yeah.
I know that I'm your best friend, but also you are not gonna put this entire thing on me.
Yeah.
You are not. I'm not gonna talk to you the way Selma talked to you.
Yeah.
You're not gonna talk to me every fucking day.
Yeah.
I have many people in my life, and I have many people who depend on me,
Yeah.
and I'm fine with that. I'm never gonna say anything bad about that. But
Yeah.
and you can depend on me to a level that other people can depend on me. I will not give you more of my time. I will
Yeah.
not give you more of my patience. I will not give you more of my understanding. My patience with you is done.
Yeah.
I am being very serious and very straightforward with you, and I will say this shit that I'm thinking. I still very much like you, and I
Yeah.
want to spend time with you. But of course, you cannot pretend that everything's okay. But I also cannot pretend that I didn't expect you to just leave me at the first sight of someone also leaving you.
Yeah. And that's
So,
like, yeah.
and it's also like you broke up with my whole thing happening, so I didn't have a chance to have a conversation with him being like,
Yeah.
I just had the chance to have to say some remarks,
Yeah.
and that's it. And uh, like him and I are still friends. You know, he's my buddy.
Mm,
I do like Amo, and I do like he always treated me nice. He was like from like before high school. I've known him,
yeah.
and the reason he stopped hanging out with me is usually because of women. But I was also like, I don't need you to be attached to the hip to me.
Yeah.
Like if Anas did that,
Mm.
World War III.
Yeah.
But you know, you doing that, I was like, okay, go on your merry way. I don't
Yeah.
care. Like if you make your way back, it just hurt me to see him going back, being like, "Hey, John," and me being like, "You didn't change a thing."
Yeah. No, that's the thing. And like, I hope he does. And okay, the whole point of all of this was to be like, so we broke up and we had like a bit of, because after we came back to the apartment, I was like, hey, this and that. Like, I don't know what to do with this anymore. And he's like, well, if you made up your mind, you made up your mind. And I'm like, well, maybe it's for the best. And then he went on his usual, like, the sitcom type of like, well, whatever. And I hope your life is better without me and like all this
Yeah,
shit. And he just kind of left in the middle
yeah.
of nothing, right? And then I,
I cannot explain to you. Whenever we get solemn, this microphone becomes a Judy Garland
yeah, I
microphone,
just,
and he got solemn.
and he left. And then I cried for a bit. And then we had a bit of messaging back and forth, being like, hey, I understand that you were angry. And like, that, I mean, he messaged me first and he was like, whatever. Like, he had a nice moment of like, you know, that I genuinely do care about you. Because even when we were still talking in the apartment, I was like, it sucks because I do love you and shit. And he was like, I don't think you do, because if you did, you wouldn't like throw away 4 years. And I'm like, what do you think I've been doing for the past 4 years?
Yeah,
What do you think? Like, how much of my, like, because you're not the only one who's losing 4 years of your life. I'm losing 4 years of my life too. And like, just because I'm
I'm
the one.
losing a good 2 years here. You know,
But
like it's.
But no, but the thing is, it's like you putting yourself, just because I'm the one doing the breakup doesn't mean
You
that
think
I'm
that
not.
you're gaining something and he's losing
Yeah.
something.
Meanwhile, I've spent the last 4 years investing every atom of my being into this,
Yeah,
while you were just going on your merry way, being like, yeah, I have a girlfriend and everything is fine. Meanwhile, I'm like grasping at straws for 4 years. And it's like, now you're the victim in all of this, just because I can't hold on anymore
yeah.
and keep doing this, whatever. But he left, and then we had like a nice cordial conversation over text. And then he was like, hey, I'm leaving on Thursday. Can I come over just so we can like just talk and then, whatever. And I'm like, sure. And he came over. Well, can't skip over the basket set of it all.
I will not comment on that. I will not. I will not have a
No,
single
he
comment.
gets very intense and very gradual, let's say.
Money will fix everything,
Uh,
too.
Money, gifts, things, and like I will, but I don't think it came from a place of I want you back.
Well, no,
It came from a
I
place
said
of guilt.
fix. I said fix, but it's not what I don't mean fix like fix the relationship
Fix the
in this
image.
situation. Yeah,
I think it came from a place of guilt, I think, this
yeah. I
time.
know that
And
and I don't know what to do with these emotions. So
yeah,
here,
so here's stuff. But he got me a lot of painting kit stuff and money and whatever. I don't know. But that's another thing of like, you're not listening to
yeah.
me,
I
because
told you
so
that I
many
don't like
times
breakup
I
flowers.
don't like flower. I don't want like a grand gesture thing
Yeah,
after a
because that
fight.
doesn't fix
It doesn't do
anything.
anything other than, okay, let's just put everything behind. But again, I don't think it came from that this time. So I'm
A
like,
big
okay,
change comes is the most shocking thing
yeah,
because I remember it's not in one person, but when you're used to something and you get more kindness than you used to, it's such a shock.
yeah,
And it is never a bad shock, you know. It's
yeah. And he came over that night and we had like a nice talk about everything. And then it was a funny thing of like, because he was saying like, I'm not this person that I was for a while now, and like I want you to know that I want to fix this, and just even just for me, like I'm I do like things. I do like music, and I do like if we start talking about music, and it was like I went to music school and like all these things, and he was showing me something that he was like wanting to play or something. And then he was like, but I can't play it on the accordion because, I don't have six hands. And then I was like, well, thank God I broke up with you on time. Like, God. But yeah, we had a nice chat, and we were both like, okay, let's not talk for a while. But then he messaged me yesterday. So now I'm just like, can you not like at least give me that? At least give me what you said you would give me.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, it was like hey, I passed my exam, which was a big part. And I was like, I'm happy that you did. And I genuinely am
I
like, I
know.
want.
As much as I said a lot of things about him now, I also completely understand not being able to fully let go
Yeah.
instantly. And I'm like, it's not right, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's so like
No, I know. And I
I
do get,
I get it from a
yeah.
deep understanding.
Yeah.
And also, I wouldn't be surprised if you listen to this episode. Hi.
Hi.
Um, I'm just saying, um, I that's something that I completely understand, but it's important to know that it's not okay, and that it's not
Yeah.
coming from a place of like good for you.
Yeah.
That not coming from a place of good for you, but
No, I just want to say one thing, which is I want nothing more than for this man to be happy because he's not a bad person.
he's
And as
not.
much as like he's the perfect example of I can do bad things, but I'm not a bad person type. And he genuinely is not. And I just want him to
It
get
takes
out of the miserableness of life of it all. I just want the best, and I want him to be happy, and I want him to be good, and in whichever form that comes in. And I always said like I hope that we could be friends. And I again come from a place of understanding that he probably can't do that because he kept saying it.
and that's
And I
completely
understand
understandable.
that. And
Yeah.
I'm ready to let that go, to be like, okay, we can't. And it sucks because I did spend like 4 years of my life, like we do have shared interests. We do have shared things that I love doing with him, and I
Yeah.
can't do anymore. And that's something I have to let go of. And that's sad, but it's
But it's
life. And
also it comes to a point of like this was something that we talked about, like how many things where you're like, I would much rather do this with John than with you.
yeah,
And I don't care how important I am in your life. Like
yeah,
when you meet a partner, you
yeah, it
should
should
want
be
to
more.
prefer things.
Yeah,
Maybe you'd like, yeah, you want to invite me occasionally. You
yeah,
want to, but like you shouldn't think I would rather be doing this with my friend
yeah.
than with my boyfriend.
But
No, I
anyway,
it takes a big man to be friends with me since I was 14, and he even at that point was another like he is a cynic, but he understands a person to person, and
yeah,
is he isn't the person that he was the last year, let's say.
yeah.
But it's also we're not here to fix you.
No, I'm not pulling that anymore, and I'm just like,
I
I
mean,
want you
I
to.
say we. It's you did
Yeah,
most of the weight. I was usually a mediator in a
yeah,
situation of being like, hey, I'm trying to understand you,
yeah.
and
But I just wanted all to be like, I have a lot of care for him, is my point. I want
yeah, yeah.
to have this grand understanding of like, I care about you as a person so much to a point where I want genuinely nothing but the best for you. And I want you to be happy, and I want you to be good. And that's the whole point of this. I want it to be known. What are you doing? Oh, he's looking for the book. Um, so yeah, I peace and love, happiness and all. And it sucks.
Well,
It's
some
sad,
nasty
but
things are sad, but some truthful things are
some
sad.
truthful
But
things.
at the end of the day, live your truth and
Live your
air your
truth, and
laundry, and
and
yeah.
at the end of the day, it's the night and all that.
Okay, so we talked about that. It was a hard conversation to have, but at the end, the pigs are walking on their hard legs and calling on the shots. The dream of an animal utopia is over.
Over. Uh,
It's my Zeke impersonation of the thing that we're about to do right now.
Yeah.
So we're actually doing a book this week.
We're doing a book.
We were gonna do a book next week, but also then I got sick, so we're like,
Yeah.
okay. Actually, we were gonna do it last week.
Yeah, but you got sick.
I got sick, so we're doing Nightmare Before Christmas next week.
Yeah.
It will be after Chris. If it will be after Nightmare, so whatever. Oh, no, Halloween is soon, and I'm going as Leatherface, and I'm gonna be nonverbal, and it's gonna be so fun.
So fun.
Literally, like people are gonna be like, "Can I take a picture with you?" And I'm gonna be like, That's it. No, the only thing I want from Halloween is to run up and down the block.
Yeah.
But we decided to read a book, and we were going to either do 1984 or Animal Farm. Animal Farm was the cheaper one.
Yeah, so here we are.
Here we are. Also, the shorter one. I was sick, and I had to read it in like a day yesterday. And I have some notes. I don't know where we left it. Where did is it by the is it in my bag?
Maybe.
Because it's fun to have like a physical.
Yeah.
The book is here.
No.
Not in my
Oh,
bag.
here it is. Here it
Okay,
is.
there we go. And it's a very cute version.
Yeah.
Look at the cover.
I gave mine. I lent mine to Amela, so I don't have.
I mean,
it
we
with
won't
me.
read any of the text
Yeah.
here, but it's nice to have the physical book here
Yeah.
to actually talk about it.
And also for character names because I don't know. I
We'll Google those.
I know Molly, and I know Napoleon and Snowball. And what's the hardworking horse's name?
Boxer.
Boxer. Yeah.
Okay.
I liked Boxer. I like.
Okay, let's. Okay, we the first conversation because you wanted this conversation. So your favorite is Molly, right?
My favorite is Molly. What was your favorite?
Okay, I have multiple favorites.
Okay.
I have multiple. I couldn't handle on one. I do like Molly. I like that it was like you can leave like. So the fact it's like it does seem like a utopia, and but she left because of, let's be honest, stupidity.
I don't think so. I think okay. So the whole point. I don't know if
Because
it's on
there
the
are
back
people
of this
because
book.
there are people that left. Snowball left because of like an understanding that it's turning into a dystopia.
Snowball didn't leave. Snowball was
Chased away.
Oh, yeah. Snowball was pushed
But
out, and
didn't
that
come back.
no. Okay,
I mean,
so
first of all, my favorite is Mayor. They call him Major, but like when I played him in the when we played him, like the first pig.
the first pig. Okay.
Yeah. So there's Major. No, but like Molly, and even in the book, it was written like she was stupidly doing this.
I know, but
And I was
here's
like,
the thing.
love.
I don't think Molly represents stupid here.
But
I think she represents. Okay,
I'm not
so
saying
let's.
she fully represents that. I'm not saying that she fully represents stupidity, but I'm saying she comes from a place of not being like, oh, this is turning into a dystopia. I gotta leave.
No,
It
she's
comes
not.
from it comes from the creature comforts of humanity.
Exactly. It comes from like okay, so let's just do a recap quickly of what it's about. Animal Farm, if you know, you know.
The animals have an uprising.
There's a guy who's running the farm and there's one pig after the farmer goes to bed, he's like, "Hey, I had this dream of animals are running the farm and fuck the main guy. We can do this and we can create a beautiful life for ourselves."
Because we live in suffer and squalor.
Yeah.
Because our farmer is just a drunkard.
Just a drunk guy who forgets to feed us, who forgets to do all these things. And we can create a life for ourselves, by ourselves, without him. So a day comes, they chase the guy away. And
the first pig dies.
the pig that had the original idea, he dies. And then two other pigs come into play, Napoleon and
because pigs
Snowball.
are the smartest.
Yeah, pigs are the smartest. They know they teach themselves how to read, how to write, how to do all these things. And their other animals are being like, some can, some can't at all, like, whatever. The guy, they chase away the farmer. And now it's Napoleon and Snowball, and they're creating a life in which, okay, all animals are equal. Should we read out the seven
Commandments?
The
We'll
Seven
do that
Commandments.
later. We'll do
Yeah.
that later. Also, they don't matter.
Well, they don't. But they do, because I got so fucking pissed every time they would erase or add something. Fuckers. Anyway, so Snowball is doing it from a genuine place.
Yeah.
Snowball is being, I will we can make this work. We will make this work. And he did for a while.
Yeah.
Snowball made it like, okay, we will do our own crops. We will make food for ourselves. We will do all these. And in one of the commandments was, we will let go of everything human-like, right? So none of the animals will ever touch alcohol. None of the animals will sleep in the sheets. And none of the animals will.
Okay, so the first commandment is whatever goes upon two legs is an enemy.
Yeah.
Whatever goes upon four legs or has wings is a friend.
Friend.
It's loading now.
Mm-hmm.
There was like an animal can never touch alcohol.
Yeah.
Never
Wear clothes.
never sleep in a bed,
Mm-hmm.
and never have do
Money. Yeah.
trade or use money. So okay, whatever goes upon two legs is an enemy. Whatever goes upon four legs or has wings is a friend. No animal shall wear clothes. No animal shall sleep in a bed. No animal shall drink alcohol. No animal shall kill any other
Animal. Mm-hmm.
All animals are equal.
All animals are equal.
That's the last one, and that's the most important one. That Okay, so they work towards this utopia. Snowball has good ideas, and then Napoleon comes, and he's like,
Napoleon is a part of it, but in the beginning, he's very close to Snowball, and he's very like.
"Oh, Napoleon was always very quiet."
Yeah, but he was, doing his own shit. And
He was
from the
always-
moment, okay, when
No,
did
I
you
was the second I was reading, I was like, "Look at Napoleon."
look at Napoleon go? What
I was
was
like-
the moment for you
Um,
where you realized he's got some ill
I
intent?
mean, I read it from I know that one of the pigs is bad.
Yeah,
I
but-
always knew the plot twist. First of all, where it went downhill for me when the animals learned to read,
Okay,
because I'm like, that's a human trait.
okay.
That is a solely human trait, and the fact that the other animals can't do it means there is ground.
There's there's already a
but like there is not a seed planted that
Yeah.
you can use it for manipulation.
yeah.
The mutts being born.
Yes, me too. The exact moment that I was like, this motherfucker is up to something.
Yeah.
So the one of the dogs gives birth.
Actually, no.
Hmm?
Before
Which one? What?
milk. He took the milk. That happened before the milk.
Oh my god, yeah.
He
I
was
forgot
like,
about the milk. But
Yeah.
but then the milk was for something.
the milk was for the pig's food.
Yeah, but I think that came after.
No. But so the cows got milked because
Yeah,
their
because they
others
had
milked them.
to.
And then Napoleon said, like, go do your work.
Yeah, we'll take care of the
We'll
milk.
take care of the milk. Came back, milk was empty. Later was found out that the milk was used for the pig's
yeah.
food. And then my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay,
But that
so-
was after the mutts. We found out what happened to the milk after the mutts.
But Napoleon said, "Go along."
Well, yeah, sure, he took it, but then
The
like I
buckets
didn't
were
think
empty.
about that much when it first happened
I was
because I was like, no, the pigs like I genuinely was so like, yay pigs, like you can do this, like this is so fun, like
I don't
yeah,
know
you're
if,
fun.
if it came from me like knowing about the source
Yeah.
material, from me being like, I don't trust these pigs.
No, because
'Cause
I'm like
I came from a point of like, oh, Napoleon is a greatly written villain.
yeah. No, I knew from the get go that it wasn't gonna be like duh. It's not all gonna be
but you
perfect.
didn't know that the
Yeah.
pigs were the ones.
But but there's character.
Can I ask you who's your? So you like Snowball out of the three pigs?
Yeah.
You know who's my favorite out of the three pigs?
Hmm.
Squealer. My job.
Would be. But
No, Squealer is
Squealer
the worst 'cause
is
he's
the fucking worst. Even Napoleon, I'm like, you at least you know what you're doing. You're smart. You're in it.
and you're not interacting with the other animals.
Exactly.
You're like, I'm above all of you.
Napoleon is doing it for himself. Squealer is doing it for just to be a cunt.
No, Squealer
like-
is coming to be good with Napoleon
Yeah.
and coming and
Just a little
lying to
bitch.
to
Yeah.
the animals
You're
themselves.
just so tiny and,
And I'm like-
small, and I'm like, you're so disgusting.
And
to me.
he's jumping left and right.
He's jumping left and right, and then towards the end of it, when it was like all the animals are starving, and they like do a description of Squealer, and it's like he's so fat and like
Yeah.
this, and I'm like, yeah, I see it. I see exactly what you
I
look
love
like as a
Squealer.
human. I
love
knew what you would look
I love
like.
Squealer so much.
Oh,
I love Squealer so much. You
Squealer.
know what's funny about Squealer when you think about it? If Snowball got the upper hand, Squealer would be a great guy.
Yeah, exactly my point. You have no character.
No character.
No, that's what I'm saying. With Napoleon, I'm like, at least you know who you are. Squealer is just like, okay.
Squealer's nothing.
Squealer is
Squealer's
nothing.
I
You're.
love Squealer.
I
Squealer so
hate
much.
Squealer. So the Squealer is like the right hand to Napoleon, being like whenever Napoleon says, Squealer does, and
Okay, So
Manipulates the
and
other animals.
eventually the utopia goes up and up and up, and then they have a few fights. Snowball gets turned away, and then at the end, the pigs are basically become human.
Basically become human, but they become worse.
Yeah, but they become equal.
They become worse.
The last line, no.
No, but the last few pages, wasn't it? They're all at the dinner table with the humans.
The creatures outside looked from pig to man, from man to pig, from pig to man again, but already it wasn't possible to say which was which.
I know, but go back a few lines, a few pages. It's
Read the whole
it's sitting when they're all sitting at the dinner table together, humans and the pigs, and they're all sitting there, and then the horses come to see them, and they're like, "Holy shit, they're with humans!"
Yeah.
And then the human goes like,
This is no longer Animal Farm.
this is no, but they're like, "Long live," no, like we will all become what being essentially like, oh, we can do more damage. We can use up people more
Yeah.
by your example.
Yeah.
So being like, the pigs were worse than humans. They did worse to. But can I just talk about Molly?
No. I'm like, we went to the synopsis. Talk
Yeah.
about your favorite character.
Okay.
And I loved your favorite character. That I'm like, fucking love Squealer. Fucking love. What's his name? Moses.
What was Moses?
Moses was the fucking crow.
Oh,
That was
Moses.
an informant for Mr.
Moses
Jones.
did nothing wrong,
He was an informant for Mr. Jones.
but did nothing wrong.
And then later, when Mr. Jones left,
Never lied.
Moses was like, I'm off.
Mhm.
Then never lied. He told him about like Sugarcane Kingdom when they died.
Right. No, but no, but never lied to like the animals. Oh, yeah, but he told him about but that's the crow's the religious aspect of it all. No.
No. You know who's the religious aspect of it all?
Hmm.
The sheep.
The sheep are just dumb.
The sheep are the religious aspect of it.
I love this book because it's so like basic, but we can just go in.
Listen. What did the sheep do the whole book?
The sheep just kept Gospels. I get it.
No. Not just Gospels. What did the sheep say the whole book? The sheep keep saying 4 legs.
4 legs good, 2 legs bad.
That's what they keep yelling the whole time.
Yeah, and then
go to a Bihach meeting and not hear the words takbir yelled
I know
by the audience.
No, but I don't think the sheep represent in this book what the sheep represent in today's media of being like, oh, you're sheep, you don't know how to think for yourself. It's the sheep
for
were.
Me, it was a strictly religious thing because like,
well, yes,
Boxer
but
was also dumb.
No, I don't think Boxer was dumb. I think we disagree here. I don't think so.
Boxer, like the strong.
The strong. I'm just here to work. I don't think he was. I genuinely believe. Okay.
No, because he was the easiest one to persuade out of all the animals.
I don't think.
Except the sheep.
Here's my thing. I think every character plays a different role in society. So let's start from Molly. Molly was this horse, and she was like, when the whole rebellion started, the whole thing, like, she just would randomly come in and like, so you have the pigs going like, and men are the worst and humans and like all this and we're gonna do that, and then Molly just had one question of, I understand the rebellion is happening, I understand that why we're doing this, I understand it,
Kinda.
but I understand what's going on.
Yeah.
But can I still have ribbons in my hair and get my sugar cubes? She represents the capitalism, right? She represents like, I want.
And she represents
the comfort of life.
Creature comforts.
Creature comforts of like, hey, I just want to still shop at Shein. Can I do that? Like, just being so like, yeah, I get it, but like also I don't want to do all that. Can we just calm down? That was her, and I respect her for it. I want to be pretty, and I want
the book the whole time calls her stupid.
Yeah, which she's not.
Idiotly. No, my thing is, she ran. For me, it was important to call her stupid, to paint a picture of like, she isn't realizing that it's a dystopia about to happen.
I think she does though. She just doesn't care about it.
I don't think she does. I think she's just like, oh, my old creature comforts, and I am not being respected in my current state.
I'm not. So, my wishes are not being met, so I just don't want to do this.
No. She's not being respected. You are dumb. You want sugar cubes. You want
by other people. By other animals. She's being very like, no.
My wishes that are semi-human are not being respected.
Yeah.
Like, I do like these ribs. I do like this sugar.
Yeah.
So I have this.
So if it's about all of us and what all of us want, why can't I have
And
this?
she left because of respect.
Exactly. She left because I still want these things and nobody's listening to me, and I don't care if, because she had like a monologue. I mean, they wrote down her whole like thing of like, yeah, it was bad sometimes, but then sometimes he would come and he would pet my mane and he
Yeah.
would put little ribbons in my hair and he would give me sugar cubes, and I really liked that.
Yeah.
And that was her whole storyline. And like she leaves like quarter of the book, like she gets to another farmer, and I was so happy for her because the crow came by and she was like, "Yeah, I think I saw Molly, and there was a guy giving her sugar cubes." She seemed happy, and I was like, "Good God,
Yeah.
good for her."
Okay, so we have
So then, Boxer.
Boxer, a dedicated but dim-witted force.
I don't care what the internet says.
That's what the book says.
I don't care what the book says. They don't understand the essence of Boxer. Boxer was just a hardworking blue collar man. That's what he was to me. In my eyes, what I see Boxer as is just like, hey, I am dedicated to doing my job, and I'm gonna do to this rebellion. I will do whatever it takes to get there. And the whole reason why he kept saying, what he had the two sayings, like, I will work until I can't work anymore or something,
Yeah.
and whatever Napoleon says is correct.
Yeah, Napoleon is correct.
Mhm.
I will continue to work harder, which was
Yeah.
two of Napoleon's phases
I
that
don't.
he then took to himself.
Well, yeah, but then he.
to Napoleon's photos because I remember being so like
Napoleon, you're so right. Napoleon is the best written villain I've ever seen. Ever.
because Napoleon's
Oh, I'm so angry at Napoleon.
Napoleon's mottos was I will continue to work harder.
But he took like it came so much after the fact of Boxer saying it.
Yeah.
It came from Boxer, but what I'm saying when it comes to Boxer is, well, yeah, you can say like dim-witted in a sense of
That's
these.
what I love about him.
Yeah.
There was a moment where he is described as physically
Strong.
No. He's physically retching himself.
Yeah.
Thinking.
Yeah.
Because he goes like.
No. I can't question it. I cannot question
the
it.
part where they call Snowball. They call Snowball like an enemy to the state, and that he was in the war.
But
being
wasn't he
against
the
all
one
of them. And Boxer, like
adamantly fighting the urge to be like, but hey, wasn't
he was? That's what I love about him. He was fucking on the floor, breathing
Mm-hmm.
to think, and then he went like,
No.
wasn't he with us?
Yeah.
He did say it, but it's the whole thing, the whole description of him being like, his head was in his hooves.
Yeah.
And he was like, but wasn't he
Was it?
with us?
Wasn't he the one who got hurt in the accident? So okay, there was a moment in the book where
Because even boxers stopped to think.
But no, I don't think. No, you're missing the point. Boxer is a guy. Okay, think of your grandpa during Tito's like reign.
Yeah.
We must respect our.
For your fellow listeners, we come from a place that was communist. Not
And-
that long ago.
Like very recently, like a few years before we were born. But so everybody from that point of time, you see them constantly bending themselves over, working, scratching, barely surviving, and yet when his picture comes up, everyone is like, "Yes, compadre Tito." Like it was that man is everything.
Yeah.
Any question, any doubt you might have into this regime is instantly squashed down.
But by this point, we would have been in jail.
Exactly. So it's a thing of you can't. And what will make you the real man, the real person is and the thing that you get to keep for yourself, your own feeling is I will work as hard as I can, and that will prove something. I will prove myself to myself and to everyone around me.
I'm just saying I really love the way Boxer's dim-wittedness was it. That's
but it wasn't
the character that I love so
because
much.
he's not like sheep.
Yeah.
Because sheep don't understand what's happening. Like he understands what's happening, but he's trying to he's burying it down.
But I love that he was physically retching to think.
But he wasn't. I feel like he was physically retching down to be like, I have to.
But that's how they wrote it down. That's the thing.
I don't.
It is literally.
I never got that. What I got from him is like I have to.
It was the scene where they talk about So
Snowball got yeah.
Snowball was the villain the whole time, and
Yeah.
it was described, and it was so like he put his head down in his hole. I don't think it was in his hole, but he was like dragging it on the ground to think. And I was like, that is so like wow.
No, but I feel like he's dragging it down because of a thing of I cannot question this what they're telling me because Napoleon is always right. But then again, I also saw this with my own eyes happening. But then why would he lie to me?
Yeah,
But then
that's because he, to quote fellow travelers,
mm,
he lived two truths:
mm-hmm,
his love for God
mm-hmm.
and his love for the other gay guy
Yeah,
from fellow travelers,
yeah,
and one of those was a lie.
mm-hmm.
And it's very
Yeah.
that.
It's very that.
I get what you're going for, but I'm saying like this aspect was the most interesting
Okay.
for me.
No, but I have like okay, so you have
I like
Molly
Molly.
who's
I
yeah.
like
You have
Molly.
Molly who's like, I just want this one thing and I
I
enjoy
like
these
Molly.
perks.
We're both Molly.
Hmm.
We're both Molly. We can't.
I'm fine with just this.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm
You
just
know?
like I like Squealer because I'm like, oh God, what a tongue of bad
I
guy.
know. Um Boxer is the like I'm a good person and I'm gonna work hard and I will follow what's told to me, even though sometimes I might doubt it, but I have to like Napoleon's always right. Whatever. I
Yeah.
have to work. I work. I work. That's what I do. That's my
Okay.
purpose.
Let me see the things that I've written down because it's funny. I wrote down what's interesting and what's
Mhm.
and then at the half of the book I just stopped everything.
Yeah.
It's just like okay, so not my favorite character. So I love Squealer. I love Napoleon both as like written villains.
Hmm.
I love them like that. I like Boxer. I like Molly, especially because I was reading. I was like, oh, Slinger, I love this bit. Um, I like, I love. I always want to say Mormon Moses, and him just being like that. I love Benjamin.
The donkey.
Yes, love Benjamin.
Love Benjamin
But
too.
my favorite character,
Hmm.
the cat.
Okay.
And I'm
Slay.
not saying this to be like this no-name character
Yeah, yeah,
in the
yeah.
book is my favorite because I'm quirky.
Yeah.
I'm saying this.
Okay.
They voted if rats are comrades or not.
Mm-hmm.
She voted for both.
Mm-hmm.
What a bitch!
What? What a slay queen thing of her to do.
It was like all the everybody voted that rats are comrades.
Yeah. And then she was like,
Except the dogs and the cat, who then later was found out that she
yeah,
voted for
for both.
Also, the cat, smartest one of the bunch.
Yeah, because she's
Left
just like, I'm just
that's what I
chilling.
mean. Molly left because of the creature comforts.
Yeah.
Cat left because self-preservation and self-understanding,
Mm-hmm.
with that comes from a bit more slyness than comes from
Yeah.
Molly. Um. So Benjamin and my major are definitely like in the top for me
Okay.
outside of the cat. Um.
Wait,
Mo-
who's
I'm gonna say this. You're gonna
uh
remember this. You're gonna fucking squeal.
what?
So everybody was learning letters.
Mm-hmm.
Molly learned the four letters that wrote her name.
Yes, I love them all. It's so because she was so
And
like,
what a way to
what a way to write a character. Is
yeah, because
he's so good
because
at
it's like
that.
everybody's being like she's dumb, she's dumb,
Yeah.
she's dumb.
Like no,
She
no, no.
learned to write Molly.
She's choosy.
She's
She's like, I care
choosy.
about me.
Yeah, she's like I fucking love that name.
Like I love
Like
that name, and I love my.
name.
It's
Guys,
my
it's
name.
my name. It's my name, guys. It's my name,
Look at
guys.
me. Look, just.
But she was also lazy, so that's something I don't like about her. Um, so Napoleon taking the dogs.
Napoleon taking the dogs was a thing of me where I was like, wait a minute. And it was such a like I genuinely did forget about it. That's what I love about the book is that like I read it and I was like, oh, that's a bit what, and then I kept reading and I completely forgot about them.
Also, like this will come back later. When I was reading it, we live in the like ground floor,
Yeah,
and it was a bit like our I
curtains
was
are open.
visible
Yeah.
through the window, and I just wanted people. Uh
Ah,
I wrote you a voice memo.
yeah.
I mean, sent you a
So,
voice memo being like Napoleon pissing on Snowball's plans.
girl,
Fucking love.
fucking what the fuck? No, because the whole oh my god, I hate that man. That thing.
That's
Um.
Okay, so my thing that I think that four legs good to equal two legs bad.
Mhm.
It was for me such a religious thing. Such a the sheep
The sheep.
keep
Okay.
repeating that was such a like because I have had a man look me in the eyes and just like in the middle of the town. I
Hmm.
was walking home and a man just looked at me and he yelled, "Takbir!" And I just looked at him and there was nothing behind it. Man.
Yeah. No, I think sheep very much are there to be like,
We're
uh,
just followers.
we're just dumb, we're followers, and we're just gonna be like, yeah, this thing, and then the moment of the book where they're like,
So we agree,
let's,
sheep represent religion.
yeah. But I think the crow represent religion the most.
No, no, no. The sheep represent the followers of religion.
Yeah,
The crow represented
the
a
storyline of it.
religion of being like work hard and then you'll have this great life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's what the crows
But I don't think
represent.
the sheep, yes, religion as well, but I think the sheep is just for everything in life. Was like they represent the, okay, so as I said, there is Molly who's just like, I just want capitalism, whatever.
Can we just
There's,
talk about how Clover is such a non-character? That's the other
I was
horse.
about to
That's
say,
the
who
third
the fuck is
horse.
Clover?
That's the third horse. That
Yeah,
just
what's the lure? What,
she
give
just
me a
turned to a
story.
boxer. Like she
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Her like his little like wifey,
yeah,
whatever. Yeah. No, Clover is just she's the wife of the hardworking man.
yeah,
She's just there,
yeah.
and she's like, yeah, let's do
Not
this.
questioning anything, bowing
Yeah.
her head.
No, but she did though.
But like
Like,
in a
what
very
does it say here?
in a very
She kept
wifey way. A very wifey way. You know what I mean?
no,
Like
but yeah, but she
but
kept.
then
She
being
was
like
the
but no
only one.
but at the end she'd always go like,
Okay.
okay.
No, but she kept, she kept. She's the only one who kept like calling in the donkey, being like, "Okay, what's that? What does
The,
it say there? What?
and the
Read that to
donkey
me."
is the best
The
guy.
donkey is the best guy. The donkey represents the guy who's like, "Yeah, this is shit," and everything
We'll
you come
always
up
live
with,
in shit.
everything anybody comes up with, will always be shit. That's why I don't talk. That's why I don't say anything because what the fuck is the
I'm the
point?
opposite of Benjamin, but I'm the same with Benjamin.
Mm,
Because I'm like, I know that capitalism is flawed.
yeah, and I know every other thing is flawed too.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And then I'm squeamish.
No, but Benjamin is the old wise guy who's just like nothing will ever
A
change no matter
cynical,
what we do.
pessimistic donkey who continually undercomes the animal's enthusiasm with the
Hmm.
cryptic remark, donkeys live a long time.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of the sentence donkeys live a long time? What do you think it means? Tell me, because I have an opinion.
Tell me so I can talk.
Tell me so I can tell you that you're dumb and stupid, or agree with you, and then say
Yes.
you're smart.
Um, donkeys live a long time. I don't think it means anything more than the like. Just I know what's happened.
I think,
I'm with it. Like
okay,
I
okay, but I
understand.
feel like you're close to what I'm thinking. I think donkeys live a long time, and like, I've seen change before.
Yeah, and it doesn't change anything.
And
Mm.
there's Bluebell, Jesse, and Pitcher. There's three dogs.
Yeah.
And then
Which
they get nine puppies.
yeah, and then the dog's storyline is nothing more than the puppies that one of them gave birth to, and then Napoleon took the puppies, and then I completely forgot about the puppies, and then the first time they make back an
Can we
appearance
just talk about how like
was to like growl at other animals.
his visuals are great
Yeah.
because Napoleon coming in, doing that little screech,
Hmm.
and then the dog just
But also, it
wait.
started from um when it was Snowball and Napoleon still there, and then
Yes.
Snowball was like, "We need to teach all the animals how to write and read," and then Napoleon was like, "No, forget about them. They don't
Yeah.
matter. Let's
Let's just
just
work.
teach. No,
Let's
no,
just
no.
work.
Let's teach the young ones. We
Yeah.
need to teach the young ones how to, because they're the
Yeah.
future."
Yeah.
Which at the time, like, yeah, makes sense. And then you're like, "Oh, you just want to teach the young ones so you can manipulate them, and
Yeah.
then they can do what you want them to do."
Yeah.
And I'm
Teach
like,
the youngest kids are the future. I was so like, oh my god,
"Oh my god,
great. No, I was so like, what a cunning
what
guy.
is?"
Uh, it was that was the big moment of like, so you're watching Snowball, and you first of all the name Snowball,
Yeah,
you're instantly like a nicer pig,
yeah.
like you know, like, and we're gonna build this thing, and it's gonna be hard work, but
Hmm.
it's gonna be a 3 day work.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah,
we're just gonna
once
work
they're building a dam, or like what's it called?
a windmill.
A windmill. Yeah, thank you. They're building a windmill, and because of the windmill, the snowballs like, and we'll have electricity in all the stalls, and the work weeks are going to be cut to 3 days a week, and like the warm water. We'll have all of these things.
Yeah,
If we
because they're surviving winter
Yeah,
at
and
that
if we put
time.
all the work in, we can do this. And then Napoleon is being so like, no, no, we're not going to do this. I'm like, da da da.
Can I talk to you about a crazy thing? About
Okay.
a crazy thing that I, to this day,
Hmm.
since I read the book yesterday,
Yeah.
um, okay, the other animals were crazy. The other
Hmm.
animals said like, hey, Snowball came to me in a dream.
Okay.
The pigs that were slaughtered 1st,
Hmm.
they said we were in cahoots with Snowball. We talked to Snowball. What was that about?
They didn't say it. Napoleon said that they said it.
Oh, Napoleon said that this and then killed them.
Yeah.
I thought it was like,
Napoleon was like before they were about to be killed. Napoleon brought them out, and he was like,
okay,
they
I,
talked to Snowball,
I
everything about
okay,
Snowball after he
that's
was.
just okay. I just
Yeah.
misunderstood then because I thought it was the pigs
No,
saying.
no, no. It was a
Okay, it
thing of.
was the other kid. Okay, the other pigs were killed, and then people came forward being like, "He came to me in a dream,"
Yeah.
and that's like the mass
Yeah,
hysteria.
the hysteria of it all. Because like Snowball, like after they okay, so they
Who do you think? Who do you think crushed the windmill? Napoleon?
nobody crushed the first time the windmill was crushed. It was the storm.
Do you think it was the storm?
Yeah.
Okay.
The storm crushed it, and then Napoleon was like, "Wait a minute, I can say it was Snowball." So
Yeah.
Snowball became this legend, this myth, because once the Snowball was the actual Snowball, they rushed him out of the farm, and Napoleon was like, "He was a traitor all along." And then other animals were like, "Wait,
Meanwhile,
wait a
he was.
minute, didn't he almost die for our
Meanwhile, he
cause?"
was pronounced like the main
The main guy,
fighter.
yeah, for the like against the humans. And then he was like, no, 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 you're misremembering it, because I think he worked with the humans, and like did it,
Yeah.
and like
He was
through
the
time the
my
story
my
changed.
my comrades. He said for the victory of humanity.
Yeah. Like, and towards the end of the book, Snowball became this legend, this myth of like the grand betrayer of everything, because the stories were, oh, Snowball snuck in at night and he took all the eggs
Wanna know?
that hens produced. He crushed down the windmill. He did all of these bad things that are happening to you. They're happening because of Snowball, not because of me. And like this grand, like mass brainwashing, and I'm reading it being like, I want to strangle you, like slaughter the pig.
Let's talk about one thing and then let's talk about another.
Okay.
That's a conversation.
Hmm.
I was I don't get that emotional over a thing. You know, I don't get angry over a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
You should see me watch Midnight Mass though with the show. I get fucking pissed. But I got shocked at a few things of Animal Farm, but I did not get as intense. Whenever Napoleon did something, I was like, "Oh, clever girl." So like, wow, you know, like, ooh, what a way to control these animals. The one time I got mad, the one time I got really mad was when they took Mayor's. His name is Major, but we play like we were gonna make a play of like Animal Farm when I was back in primary school, and we called him Mayor, not
Hmm.
Major. When they took his skull and put it next to the,
Yeah,
I was so pissed.
so mad.
You are taking that man's
You don't get
words.
to do that.
You don't
Yeah.
get to do that. You are portraying like it's his.
Yeah.
It's his future. It's not his
Mm-mm.
future. His future was for all animals to be equal.
Yeah.
And then, so that's when I got pissed, and the other time I got is, I mean, I saw it coming from
No, for me,
30,000 miles away.
what?
Was when Boxer got ill.
Mm-hmm.
They
I was
sent
like
him
glued
off
to
to
the
the
factory.
hospital.
Hospital. To the pig farm where you can run around with other horses. No, it was.
And then Benjamin, just for the first time, it was so like,
And the fact,
for the first
the
time,
simplest of lies, that for me was the one where I like the horse Boxer gets sick. They run out. They're like, he needs help. They all run towards him. Napoleon is like, oh, he's my best worker, and I'm gonna make sure that he gets the best care ever. And we're gonna call the hospital, and they're gonna get him better. And da-da-da.
yeah,
He calls a van.
everybody's scared because the only two people that left are Molly and Snowball that I saw.
And exactly. So it's like nobody out of the two of
I
them.
remember reading it. I was like,
Honey.
Molly mentioned.
Molly, Serbia mentioned.
Well, this whole book is Fabio
Yeah.
mentioned.
So they're like, we're gonna. So a van comes to pick him up, and everyone's kind of being eerie, like nobody's ever left a farm before and came back, like that never happened. So, and then the one person who can read out what it says,
Benjamin was the only
Benjamin.
one that learned to read
Yeah,
outside of the pigs.
yeah. So Benjamin is like, oh, this is I think it's a glue company thing, and
Yeah,
they're.
it's a glue company, but don't you talk that rule about my boy Benjamin.
Mhm.
My boy Benjamin, apathetic, cynic,
Uh-huh.
silent through the whole book. ran to
ran
everybody, being
to be
like,
like, "You're dumb. This is
no,
what's
no.
happening."
First of all, guys, look at this, and then
Yeah,
everyone going, get well soon, and he's
yeah.
like, you
Idiots.
idiots.
Yeah, they're taking him away and all of this. And then the simplest of lies, where he tells everyone this is what's written there. It's a glue company. They're going there. They're taking him to
Yeah.
kill him. Napoleon comes out. He just says, "No, they just rented out that new
Not
van."
Napoleon, not Napoleon.
Squealer comes out and has and says, "Oh, it's just a new van that they rented out from the
That they bought and
factory.
they didn't change
They
it.
they didn't they just didn't get around to changing it." That's all they needed to hear. That is all they needed to hear. And that, oh, I was so just the like single like, yeah, no, that's what's happening. Whatever.
Another great scene. Another great scene. Them voting because they went to a bureaucracy or what is it? They changed their
Oh
system to
yeah,
be
it
like a
wasn't.
voting
Yeah, yeah,
system,
yeah.
and they could only vote for
Napoleon.
Napoleon.
Yeah. God, and every so the
So
another
the point of the book is that every time something happens, people are like, "Wait,
wait, wasn't one of
aren't
the
there
rules?
commandments?" And then
Yeah.
they change them a little bit. So it was like,
So my favorite was when they caught him drinking beer
yeah,
and they were like,
that was such a fun scene though because it was the first Napoleon drank,
and then he
and then
woke up being like, he's dying, he's gonna
Squealer was like, Napoleon's
die.
dying, and then Squealer said like nobody should ever drink alcohol ever.
No, no, no. It was,
That's the first thing he said.
yeah, no animal should ever drink alcohol. And then they saw that he drank beer, and then they went to read it, and it said no animal shall ever drink alcohol. Every
Every animal in moderation,
in
something like that.
moderation.
No, but
like
you know what
animals
was
will drink
funny?
alcohol.
You know what was funny? It was like one line, and it was like, and then he got better, and then he said, anybody who's caught drinking will be killed.
Killed, yeah.
Because I'm so like, that's a hungover.
That's a hangover,
That's
baby.
a hangover if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
I haven't. I've felt one, but I've seen one.
Um,
Not because I'm sober, but because I kept drinking.
okay.
um,
No, so the whole book is essentially like a storyline of communism will never work, and it's just brainwashing people, and then you will have it worse off than in capitalism.
do you remember the like fucking trend of loving communism as teenagers?
No,
You
I
didn't
wasn't in
have that.
that.
Oh, you weren't in PMix at that time. It was there was so many people being like,
Well, I mean, yeah, I was surrounded with people my whole life being like, yeah, communism is the best.
no,
Because
but
my
that's our
parents,
parents. But I'm
yeah.
saying like people, especially from Gymnasia, they were like, oh, like the Russian communism. They were like,
Hmm.
that's the only. I've dated a guy who's like communism,
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
You don't know anything. You're
you don't know
just
shit.
so stupid.
My thing is like, you would hate communism.
You would
You would
not.
hate it there.
You dated a guy. Like, let's just that sentence alone.
Actually, Yugoslavia was like pro LGBT cousin. From what I
Not just
heard.
kind of like I don't give a shit what you
Yeah,
do,
I think
which
so.
I respect.
I
I'm like
respect.
just
But like
chill.
Russia,
Well, yeah.
like
Do you know that Russians are now being there's I love this man. He lived like 25 years in Russia and then
okay.
he escaped essentially to the United States and now he's stitching videos of other people being like Russia is great. Let's go to Russia and he's like you're all so dumb.
No,
Like
and
if
it's
you
fun, and it's
think
funny that that guy has to do that.
yeah.
Meanwhile, there's like Sasha from RuPaul Drag Race. He was like, my life was threatened
Yeah.
because
Like
first of all, like
fully like you
because
don't
my
know what
gender
Russia is.
expression and because
Yeah, it's not even just that. It's like you can't do or say anything.
you
Like
couldn't say like, hey, Tita's Ghana. Like if we
gotten a little fat.
played fuck Mary Kill, and I would say fuck Tita, not marry him.
Uh-huh. He'd be like, oh well, go Goliath.
Yeah,
You know what?
exactly.
Okay, can I just say this to anybody who ever might listen to this? Do you know what Goliath was?
What was going on?
So instead of a prison,
Yeah,
like if you commit, I think was one of those things where it's like grand, one of the biggest law breaking things you
was
can
going
do
against the
was going against the government, which is
yeah
just saying like, hey, Tito kind of sucks. Like that's the
yeah
worst thing you can do. You would be sent to Goliath, which is all day. It's an island.
okay.
All day, every day, what you do. It's so funny. You just take rocks and you move them from one place to another. And you do that from 6 a.m. till 11 p.m. That's all you do.
Can I just say something?
Would love.
Can I just say something?
There is nothing that you just.
Meditation. It's
It's
meditation.
meditation. You just move rocks from one place to another, like heavy manual work, and
That feels like
instead,
something Buddhists would be like. You
and
should
you
do
should
that.
do this, like an ayahuasca experience. Like you, and that, like the biggest punishment in the world was just manual labor every day, all day. And it's like at least put it to you, like at least have them dig shit up. Like
The thing
I
with
don't know.
communism, though, is I'm talking from very limited experience and understanding. Of course, where a
Yeah,
horse is a horse, of
yeah.
course. Um, Communism is something that was great on paper. Let me
Hmm.
put my phone to check. Communism was something that was great on paper, and it's okay. I mean, we did mention the best quote of the whole thing is that so the whole book. I know because it was written in a different font. So the whole book, there's those commandments
Hmm.
kept being changed,
Yeah.
kept being changed. Eventually, even the sheep go like four legs good, two legs better,
Better.
and they go that. And then there's like they keep changing the thing, they keep changing the thing, and they go like no
But
animal
even
can sleep in a bed with sheets.
yeah,
And eventually, it all got deleted and just said all animals are equal, but some animals are more
more
equal
equal.
than others. Jesus. Also,
Jesus.
can we talk about? I remember how they kept singing that song
Hmm.
about the rebellion.
Yeah, and then
I
it
remember,
kept changing, and
I remember seeing it and being like, "Shut the fuck up,"
yeah.
like shut. And then they were like, "This song is banned," and I was like, "Oh."
I want to listen to this song again.
So much because they kept it was like a eggplant of England or something like that.
Yeah,
Like
it's like I dream of a land, or like blah, 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 blah.
yeah, and it's a
And it's like
song that started the rebellion.
yeah, it's a song that started a rebellion, and the way this
It's
book
the
is
only
fucking
thing
written.
that Major was, you know,
Yeah, but
it's
it
the only
kept
way that Major was kept alive.
yeah, and it kept going like, oh, we don't have to sing that song anymore because we already got what we wanted. So there's no need
No, no, no. It
to
was
it.
banned. It's
No, it wasn't instantly. That's my point. Is like it came from like they started singing it around a bonfire, like whatever. They were
yeah.
all sitting around, started singing the song,
And they
and
all
then
sang it like 4 or 6 times.
yeah, they all started singing it, and then Squealer comes in, and
My
he's like,
favorite.
"No, don't sing that anymore." And everyone's like, "Why?" And he just starts it off with like, "The rebellion happened. We
But
got what we wanted. There is no point
I'm
to
telling
singing
you,
it
they were
anymore."
so annoying with the song.
No, they weren't.
Like, no, I'm just saying, like, every chapter ended with like, and
Yeah,
they had this, and then they sang the
they
song,
sang the
and then
song,
they had this, and then they sang the song, and
but
I was to a point of like, God, these animals in this fucking song,
yeah,
and then it was like everybody who should learn that song,
yeah.
and then one day they were just like, oh, don't sing that song
Yes.
anymore.
Don't sing being like but again being so like oh there's no point to singing it anymore, we got what
And
we
what
wanted,
replaced
and
the
then
song?
it went from don't there's just whatever about it, and then going from like no you can't sing that song,
Yeah,
it's forbidden,
yeah.
you can't, and then
The
it
only
was like
songs you can sing are about Napoleon.
Napoleon, fuck's sakes.
Okay, so my thing with communism, I instantly think of art
Okay.
and censorship
Hmm.
and the controlling of the media.
Yeah,
Because like it wouldn't just be censorship of fucking like saying fuck Tito.
yeah.
It would be censorship of
You know what's one of
everything.
our grand like moments in when it comes to our art and when it comes to like Yugoslavia shit,
Yeah.
there was a band, listen to Zabrin Pushai
Okay.
or something, and
Forbidden smoke.
forbidden smoking. And it was right after he died. Tito, like he died, whatever.
Umro drug Tito.
Drug Tito, Tito's Valmarshal.
Yeah.
And they were doing a performance in the Sarajevo. And there was a thing in music
Uh-huh.
and what music equipment.
Yeah,
There is
it's
Marshall.
called Marshall. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's I think for guitars and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
And then one of like they all went out on stage and they were about to play, and then one of them just turns around and he goes, Circo Marshall. Everyone went ballistic. Isn't that so eerie? That was so eerie to me when I first heard it because I was so like, oh, like the first cancel ever. Like everyone was so like, oh, how dare he say that? How can he say that about
Oh my
our
god.
Lord and Savior?
Oh my god. No, because I have an uncle who to this day is like It's covered.
Yeah, you can't do
And I'm like,
anything.
I understand that it's good that everybody had housing. Everybody had I get that. I understand. But if I'm in a country where I can't complain and yap,
What is the point?
in living
What?
in living that,
I'm in a country where I can't complain, and yeah, yeah.
because I kept thinking like I'm a person who went out of religion
Hmm.
because I was like, I don't like this, and then they're like, you can't think about it, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Don't tell me.
no, I
No.
was like that. No,
Mm-mm.
I am out of here
Yeah.
because you are telling me what to do,
Hmm.
and I will never listen to
Yeah.
somebody who is like, you cannot think about this for a second.
Hmm.
You cannot question
Hmm.
the things that are there. There are things that you don't question, like
Yeah.
what is rape? Like I
It's a fine line there.
I had a guy who was like, so what is rape? And I was like, that this is not a fun little conversation
Yeah.
for you to have, you motherfucker.
You dumb bit.
But it's a thing of like everybody being like, oh, in Tito's there, in Tito's there, in Tito's there, and I'm like, maybe like
But maybe like that's again what this book is about is like you've created that image of what is happening to
yeah,
yourself. Because like yeah, okay, fine, you had free housing, but it came from you from your constant labor
yeah.
and living day to day,
Yeah.
not knowing what's going to happen
Where's the
tomorrow.
life?
Where's the moment of like, and again, like my dad would talk about like, because he was very little, like during the period, they had these things of like, mlada akcija, radna akcija, or whatever. And it was like, they would gather all the children that were
Yeah,
like 14, 13, whatever, and they just have them work all day, picking shit, doing stuff. And he's talking about it in such a wonderful point of
yeah,
like, oh, and we all had so much fun. And then we would just go out there and we'd pick apples and then we'd eat apples and we'll all have so much fun. And we did and I'm like, you were free labor. You're literally, you were doing child labor.
yeah.
You weren't
You're
even aware of it.
totally
You didn't know it.
yeah.
And none of these other people knew.
Because it's not like a izujachi,
Yeah.
like you're not being
No,
a
no,
Girl Scout or Boy
yeah.
Scout.
You're doing physical, like you're doing railroads.
Yeah,
Like you're building railroads for free. And you're being so like, yeah, that was great. That was fun. And it's like,
no, and also like
but then it also begs
also
the question of like, if you did have fun,
no
you
kids
know,
kids yearn for the minds.
yeah.
Let's be
It's
honest.
so like,
I do like as a kid I like things like and shit like that, but it is a thing of you are exploiting me because I don't know better.
exactly. And you're
And
doing
then
that
and
to
if you're
every single.
starting that from so young,
Mhm.
God knows what will happen later on.
Exactly. The
and
puppies.
and it's I do get that somebody could make a point of like I'm not knowledgeable enough about communism to talk about it here. I get that, but also go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You're not any more knowledgeable because you fetishize this thing that is
Yeah.
going on. You are not more knowledgeable for saying that fucking Stalin wasn't a
Yeah.
what's the word that they use for like Hitler
Dictator.
dictator. Uh, I remember with the ex guy that I've had, we were going through Netflix and it was like how to make a dictator.
Hmm.
And it was like Stalin and he was like, I hate it. Why is Stalin on that? And I was like, fuck you.
But yeah.
Fuck you because you have this like you are the world sucks
Yeah.
and you're against it and you are like I'm gonna this way of living makes the world better. Eventually there is another thing that will surpass us.
Yeah.
Eventually there's gonna be something other than capitalism, which will once again be a way of like somebody in the minority of like wealth and being above us will be able to control the common man.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe somewhere in the future there's gonna be like where medium chubby gay guys control what we
Yeah.
have to
You
say.
know.
Not a better future,
Yeah.
not a good future, but I'm saying like there's gonna be changes and they're gonna be like, can you imagine that there used to be a military?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's gonna be like, yes, and that's horrendous,
Yeah.
and that sucks. And there's gonna be like good things about. But you're also not gonna be like, you're also gonna have people like, capitalism was great,
Yeah. It was so like
unless
you
you're
work
forbidden,
for what you get.
unless you're forbidden to say it.
Yeah.
And that begs the question, like, that's the worst thing.
Yeah. Can you
Not
pause though? I have to pee.
to go piss, girl.
I've been holding.
I need to go pee and shit.
So communism is bad,
So communism,
right?
Communism is bad.
Bad, right?
Um, no, the thing that I keep thinking about communists. Okay, so imagine living right now in a communist state, right?
Yeah,
What were we listening to? Fleetwood Mac.
yeah.
Would Fleetwood Mac be banned?
I feel like no.
No, because Fleetwood Mac doesn't.
Spacey.
Yeah, doesn't represent God or anything.
Yeah.
So would Adele?
But
No,
also,
Adele
my
wouldn't be
thing
banned.
is,
Okay,
what do you, what? Okay.
Hallelujah.
Yeah,
We
no.
wouldn't. We wouldn't be
No,
able
no,
to listen.
definitely not.
Hallelujah. Take me to church.
Yeah. I love Take Me to Church. I love church people listening Take Me to Church being like, yeah, our God is greater. Um, no, but why do you, okay, what's your opinion on as to why religion is somewhat banned in communistic countries?
Because you can't have another
Grand power.
grand power.
Yeah.
The only grand power is the state,
Exactly.
and it's
Makes you think.
makes you think. No, people to an extent they need religion, and I'm not saying like I'm smarter because I don't need religion. I'm
No,
saying like,
people need something to grasp onto. Like,
and and
that's something that's higher than that.
and for you for Boxer, it was
Working hard.
working hard, so
Yeah.
it was the state.
Yeah.
For anybody
For
else,
Molly was the ribbons. Is all
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like, there's so many different ways you can find quote unquote
there
God.
isn't a way for one book to rule us all.
Yeah.
There isn't a way for us, or there isn't like religion will not. No religion will ever fit everybody.
Yeah.
No way of living will ever fit anybody. No way of power or countries will ever fit anybody.
Yeah, but you also have to understand you are a product of what you were brought up in.
Absolutely.
No matter what or who you think you fucking are.
I'm
It's
the
like,
son of a man who loves this book,
yeah.
and that is apparent.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is like you will be who you're brought up to be, and if you have the freedom to express yourself, you will. If you don't have the freedom to express yourself, you'll never know that you don't have the freedom to express yourself.
Absolutely.
So it's such a like loaded like.
Don't go for second best, baby.
Mm-hmm. So it's a very like, yeah, we can shit talk as much as we want, but different societies are set up in different ways, and people are either happy or they're not. And
I've met people. I've met a guy who his I called him Roman because he used olive oil to jack off because his thing about his hands.
Okay, so
They don't work properly. So I don't know. He can't do it without lube. So we talked once randomly. I don't know where I met him. And we sexted. It was the first time I ran. He ghosted me after a while. I didn't care.
yeah.
He talked to me like 2 years later. He was like, "Hey, yeah, no, I ghosted you because it was a very. I'm sorry. I just wanted to actually say I'm sorry." And I was like, "That first of all, that's
Yeah.
never happened."
Yeah.
But, about the way I treated you and about the way I left things off. Um, I'm I've accepted that I'm gay, but I've accepted that I'll live a celibate life because Jesus
Yeah.
Christ is my savior, and because of God, I've accepted this life, and it's the first time because I'm brought up in Bosnia, right?
Yeah.
And it's people are either weirdly still religious if they come out as gay, or they fully let go of their religion, or they don't come out.
Yeah.
Like I've never met somebody going like, I am coming out, but reading the Quran because it is a thing in the Quran as well of being like you shouldn't be gay. Right? And also like I've never met this way that your realization about your own self is still afflicted by what
This
you've
thing.
been brought up with.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm thinking about right now. Like being brought up in
Yeah.
a religious family,
Yeah.
a communist family, anything like that. It is there's these things, and then that's why the queer community is so different and so odd.
Yeah.
So because no matter how you've grown up, how you've grown,
Yeah.
how you were raised, how you were born,
Yeah. There's this
your
thing that's connecting you.
inherent
Yeah.
born thing
Yeah.
it goes against that.
Yeah.
and that's why you go against the grain. That's why
Yeah,
you
but
go
then
different.
you're also searching. You're still a part of a community, even
Yeah,
if you can't find it around you. You're a
yeah,
part
yeah.
of something,
You are
someone
searching
out
for
there.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So it's like you can't just live life on your own
yeah. No,
accord.
no
That
man's an
doesn't
island.
exist. Exactly. Thank you. So it's very like you will find something that will guide you towards something, and it just
Absolutely.
depends on how, where,
And that's
and
queer
what.
people love that the most. Queer
Yeah.
people love in media found family,
Yeah.
right? And that was a shock for me because finding out that you're queer is a deep realization about yourself
Yeah.
that is not brought by your parents,
Yeah.
by the school,
And it's the
by the
realest thing you
church.
have.
Yeah, it is. It will always be the
The
realest.
realest thing you
It is
can hold
the
on to.
realest thing you will ever have
Yeah.
is your expression of love to somebody
Exactly.
else.
Because it's also like, okay, so some,
Because if you're raised in like a racist household,
yeah,
if you fall in love with a colored person,
yeah,
you
that's the
know how
realest
big
part of you.
that is your
That's
love
you.
for this person succeeds all of these inherent
Everything that you're around.
traits
Yeah.
that you've had before.
No, it's okay. Even the whole queer thing is such a, because people can make a point of like, well, now in the media, it's everywhere. And like, blah, blah, blah. But I remember genuinely seeing Will and Grace for the first time. And it's about gay men. Like,
Yeah.
it's not about lesbians. It's
It's
not
not about
about.
a bisexual woman who's into older women.
Exactly. They did have a bisexual woman who's into just nothing, who's into drinking, which was but I'm very like I remember seeing that and instantly I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I love it. There's like something sparked inside of me, and like it didn't for my dad, it didn't for my friends, it didn't for like, it's something that you're not a part of. I am, because I feel this way
Yeah.
towards it. It's not something that influenced me to feel it. It's something that made me feel like, and
I remember not being raised with no queer media at all, so no queer representation. But I always having these feelings to Indiana Jones.
yeah.
And aside from that, with gender expression,
Hmm.
every time there's a recording of this.
Yeah.
Every time they played Mulan, it was a
Yeah.
scene of reflection.
Uh-huh.
I would always stand up and wipe my makeup and look in the mirror, and it
Yeah.
was like Little John. And that's like, if you are saying that I haven't been embracing my femininity from the start, like,
Yeah.
and that's something that wasn't taught.
Yeah. You can't fake
Fabulousness
that. You're
can
not.
never be faked.
Honey.
um,
Mm-mm.
and to see and okay, so in this state that we live in now, the queer community has to stand up against the grain of
Yeah.
some things.
Yeah.
And that inherently goes against the communist belief.
Yeah.
The only way that communists could work with the queer community would be if they were
It,
instantly like equal,
equal.
instantly equal.
Yeah. But you can't have it though.
You can't have it,
It doesn't work.
and so
Because
what? I don't.
equality just means everyone is the same.
Yeah,
You have to be exactly like everyone.
yeah,
So it's not like a thing of, yeah, like, but also the way it uses language too to make you like feel that way. Like
yeah.
there is no like Mr. and Mrs. It was just everyone was like drug,
Drug,
compadre.
drug.
Like we
Yeah,
were all just
like
drug. Like
we were
we're
all
all
together.
chilling together, but then like you're in a mansion and I have a little tiny ass apartment. Like there was still like
Yeah,
disparities, and you just want me to ignore that because like, oh, I'm calling you
there's a.
the same.
It's not about communism, but Bioshock, the video game, is based on what's her name? Ayn Rand's
Okay.
book. It's a fiction book, but it doubles as a manifesto
Okay.
about like a utopia that is not communist,
Hmm.
not capitalist, not anything. So, and I've talked to you about this time many times because it is my favorite thing about video games. So, you exit this stage, and there's this huge statue of a man holding a banner, and he looks like fucking Walt Disney.
Yeah.
And he's holding a banner that says "No kings, no gods, only
Yeah.
man."
And it's
And
a
it's
statue
it's
of,
a statue of him,
yeah.
and I've and what a way to see
Yeah.
kids who haven't grown up
Hmm.
to be like to question
Yeah.
because people are so like neat
Yeah.
and then just
Slay.
go on.
Yeah.
Let's let Where's the gun?
Yeah.
And for me, I was standing there like, I mean, the first time I played it as a teenager, let's not kid ourselves. I
Yeah.
was like, huh, okay. I was
Whatever.
like, ooh. I remember being like, ooh, what a like no
Yeah.
it's like only matter what a concept.
Yeah. What a cute quote.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, without thinking like, look at this man putting himself above
Above
all of that,
everything. Yeah.
but he's still saying that we're all
Yeah.
equal. And it's you see through Bioshock, and it's because this is a communist book, but it's any utopia that is so strict
Yeah.
will break down.
Yeah.
You know what was the number one smuggled thing in Rapture for that utopia were the Bibles.
Yeah.
And I was so like, and I
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh my god, they're pushing religion into everything. I was like, makes so
That's
much
so much
sense
sense.
that
Yeah.
this way of thinking
Yeah.
wouldn't fit to anybody
Yeah.
else. I mean, not to everybody else. It's
I did like the whole aspect of, but again, it goes down to like everything comes down to selfishness of people.
yeah,
And as my like the best way to smear eyes is to be like, hey, we're pals, right?
yeah,
We're the same. We're
yeah.
cool. We're
We're
chill.
grupito.
Yeah, yeah. And then
It's a
to
similar thing they use in my college. We call each other colleagues,
yeah, and it's
and I'm
like it
like,
doesn't mean anything. You're still grading me. You're
the
still determining my future.
no, the thing is, I there are professors where I go like, don't call me colleague if you're not gonna treat me like one.
Yeah,
And then they go like, colleague, like I have to,
yeah,
and I go like, and then start treating me like a colleague.
yeah.
Start treating me like I'm somebody of
Who's
your own caliber
equal?
whose opinions you should validate.
Yeah,
Because otherwise, what are we doing here?
yeah.
How are we wasting our time here? Okay. My thing is, I know that we're both like Molly because a world without Halloween is a world I can't live in.
Exactly. I understand, and it the character of Molly cuts down to everything, even aside from because I know this book and like the writer himself has stated it's essentially a parody of Russian regime and like with
Exactly
Stalin
what
and
happened to them.
yeah,
Like, there was a good guy, and there was like,
okay, whatever.
and then the blah, 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 blah.
But my thing is, it can be boiled down to, and I think as art is, it's subjective and like that.
In the eye of the beholder.
Yeah, exactly. And it genuinely comes down to like every single aspect of your life, of my life, comes down to what Molly is about, which
Yeah,
is I don't need grandeur in life of any kind. I don't need to be a part of
a
something
rebellion,
of a rebellion of something grand. I don't need, and then also money wise, I don't need a
a lot.
mansion. I don't need a yacht. I don't need to be respected in that regard. I don't need a grand job. I don't need to be famous. I don't need these things. I just want what I can provide for myself already, what I have right now, which is things that I enjoy in life. And as superficial as they may be, I like them and I enjoy my life. And I am already, because the whole point for me personally, the whole point of life is be happy, which
Yeah,
it just boils down to me. I know I have more than Elon Musk. You know what I mean? Like, I know I have this. I have this dumbass podcast. I have game nights. I have.
I have I have this, and you're pointing at your gay friend who's having a podcast with you. Open Instagram, who saw a picture of a hot guy, put down the microphone to screenshot the story of the hot guy.
Exactly. And you have that. And I'm so happy for you. There's the simplest things of life, and as much as they come with, like, it doesn't come from a place of not understanding that things can be better. I'm like, I understand, but what you find better, I don't. I find it enough with the little ribbons in my hair and the little sugar cubes. That's enough for me to be happy. I don't need whatever.
I don't see myself in any of the characters of the book.
Okay.
I don't think I'm fully. I mean, I'm fully Molly in the way of like, if this rebellion means that I'm under a regime where I can't enjoy the things that I can't could have
Yeah.
before, you know, because I'm a guy who is. I can read Molly as a character who is appreciative of art and the
Yeah.
things that are pretty.
Yeah.
And animalism, as they called it,
Yeah.
went against
All of that.
all of the pretty things.
Yeah.
So like art in what's the word? what do we say that Hitler and Stalin were?
Dictator.
In a dictatorship, art does not exist.
Yeah.
It does not exist. It is mass controlled. It is mass produced.
Yeah.
It is forced to you.
It's
It's
pointed to you
yeah. It's pointed to you for you to enjoy the thing.
because
And
to enjoy the message that it's being sent out.
yeah,
But that's with
and the
everything
and then
too.
people go like, "Oh my God, do you know that there's a like a movie where Donald Duck was a Nazi?" And I was like, "Yes, and isn't that
Isn't
beautiful?"
that just
No,
so nice?
but because he was just like the whole movie was parodying.
Yeah.
Like, of course, it wasn't
Yeah.
pro-Nazism, but and everybody being like, "Oh my God, that wouldn't fly today," and I'm like, "Well, ask yourself
Yeah.
why." Ask yourself. I am all for censorship in the media. But I think that it's not where it should be.
Yeah. No.
We don't need another season of Euphoria. I'm not saying like I don't like Heartstopper. Don't make Heartstopper.
Yeah.
I'm saying there is hurtful media
Yeah.
that should be banned. Donald Duck being a Nazi was never hurtful. It
Yeah.
was a
Because it's not
message
gonna be like,
against.
yeah. And no kid is gonna be like, yeah, I'm a Nazi.
No, it was like look at him being terrified of this like fucking phony,
Yeah.
and then waking up at the end being like, "Oh, I'm glad I'm awake."
Yeah.
You know, like it's. I just
No, I love the book. I love the way it was written too, because it really did make me like, it made me angry as a reader. And I think that's like the point now, to just be
yeah.
like,
You kept saying you felt gaslit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not that I felt gaslit in a way like, oh, I didn't know this would happen. I knew what was happening, but the entire time, I'm like, you can't do that.
Yeah,
Like,
you're like,
I
why
got
are you
so,
lying to
why are
me?
you lying to everyone? Like, you can't shut up. Like,
But
I got
but
so, like,
do you also feel like to a person of power you'd also be like, eh,
yeah,
and that's the and
yeah,
I'm not
that's
saying
the
that I
message
wouldn't.
of it. Yeah,
I'm not saying that I wouldn't. I'm
yeah,
not saying that I'm any better than you,
I know.
sister.
But
I'm
just to sit there and to see these animals go to like the despair of, well, I guess if it's written down there, I
yeah.
guess if that's the thing, then okay. Like just to just give up completely on this idea because, well, also to be fair, it was never their idea either.
Yeah.
They just followed what they were told
And they were
from,
like, do we all agree?
sure,
And that's the thing. Asking somebody if they all agree and then not
then not
listening to that
giving
and
a shit.
changing that. Oh, no, this is what we meant.
Yeah,
Not we as in like, this is what we as a whole community
yeah,
meant. And I'm telling you now because you don't know what we,
yeah,
including yourself,
exactly.
meant.
And again, and I also love that it wasn't portrayed like, oh, it was a beautiful thing when the farmer was there and then the animals ruined it. It was such a like, yeah, it was shit. And
Yeah.
then we got into more shit. But
It
it
was
was shit wrapped in a ribbon. Like,
it was the farmer was good until he started drinking and not feeding them and not caring for them. He was
it's never, yeah, but
no,
that is not showed.
there was a sentence of being like he used to be good and then he started drinking and
Yeah,
then he started doing all of these
I don't
things.
remember that.
It was a short passage because
Yeah,
I was like that's interesting. The same way that Mayor and Snowball were good,
yeah.
but then
Then Napoleon came
yeah,
by.
then Napoleon came and Napoleon did all over the place.
Napoleon. Um, okay. Should we just read out what it says on the back of the book? A farm is taken over by its overworked, mistreated animals. With flaming idealism and steering slogans, they set out to create a paradise of progress, justice, and equality. Thus, the stage is set for one of the most telling satiric fables ever penned. A razor-edged fairy tale for grown-ups that records the evolution from rev it records the evolution from revolution against the tyranny to oh my god to toy read it.
Totalitarianism.
Thank you.
Didn't read it. Just knew it would be there.
Just as terrible. When Animal Farm was first published 50 years ago, Stalin, Russia, yeah, was seen as its target. Today, it is devastatingly clear that whenever and wherever freedom is attacked, under whatever banner, the cutting clarity and savage comedy of George Orwell's masterpiece has a meaning and message still fierce,
I have trouble also reading for the first time
Ferociously
out loud.
fresh.
Ferocious.
Yes. Um,
I
no system will ever work. In my perfect world, you know what it would be like? Everyone is born and everyone's like, hey, I like to fix cars. And I'm like, hey, cool. I love to bake bread. How about I bake bread for you and you fix my car? And we
but there's
just
what's
all
the
go in a
inspiration?
circle
What's the inspiration? That's the problem of
of
like
where it comes from. But
where it comes
just,
from because like I feel like
I
without
feel like that would be faced with family lineage,
okay
family business.
okay, but also the thing is so
And if you want to do something else, you go do something
yeah, you
else.
go do something else. Okay, that could work. But then I feel like also sometimes it would a lot of it would just be like
I want to sit by the computer. I don't want to work. You know, I get that. But, if we
no, but
all
it's
just
but
were like
also
really
you're just
cool.
yapping for like just seconds, and
Yeah.
like it's not an actual system that
Yeah.
can be brought into place. But I'm saying right now there is somebody who wants to tell me that how I'm feeling. So I am shaken up because the man that I fell in love with doesn't love me back, and I feel so I feel slow in this world because I did not understand that he wasn't flirting with me. I feel slow in this world in general because of my lack of understanding of communication skills with other people, and I have to be very succinct and precise
Yeah.
with what I'm saying. I feel like I cannot find a partner here in this place that I love to the bottom of my heart. And there are 20 people waiting to tell me that the way this is governed, that
Yeah.
capitalism, that the police, that
Mm-hmm.
everything is the issue there.
Yeah.
All I gotta tell them, one day I will be happy and you never will be.
Yeah.
If you're
Exactly.
just waiting to be like, this is this is their fault.
Yeah.
This is we are all being I understand that.
Mm. And
And that is no way to fight it.
yeah.
If you want to fight it, if you want to physically fight it, go
Yeah.
storm the streets, go
No.
do something
But
like
you
that.
won't.
If
People never
not,
will.
work on yourself.
Yeah. Be happy.
Work on yourself to at the end of the day, maybe I will stay here in this town.
Yeah.
Maybe I will be single for life, but maybe there will be teenagers who are fucking faggots getting drunk on the streets like I did, and
Yeah.
maybe that will be my legacy.
Yeah. I did that.
I did that.
Yeah.
I'm over here being like
Yeah. No,
I am not being pompous to say that I feel some pride
yeah.
in myself
Yeah.
for seeing gay kids run on the streets
Yeah.
because they
Little gay guy.
pathetic little gay guys because they had a fresh little face to beat up
Yeah.
before them. I am not ashamed to say that like that some of that might come from me.
Yeah.
And how did I come to that? By being self assured,
Yeah.
by being by working on myself,
Mm.
and by being a drunk mess.
Well, there's a certain like level of,
Because even as much as I love Benjamin, and as much as I love him, as much as I think he's the smartest one, there's
but he's sad.
he's sad.
That's the problem.
There's
It's like,
no
yeah, you're the most correct one out of everyone, but you're miserable because you let it affect you as much as
yeah.
it does. And like,
My
there's
mom
a,
has this saying like whenever me and my sister are stressed out, she's like, "Why do you let it be?"
yeah, just
And I'm
don't.
like, "Woman, I am not as Zen master as you are, and you are not as Zen master as you think you are." When you say that. I love you, but like her going like, "Why does it affect you?"
Like, just
And I'm like, "Mom, it
chill.
affects you," and she goes like, "No,
No, it doesn't. I'm
I'm
fine.
fine."
No.
Gray hairs.
Yeah. No, it's a thing of genuinely the only thing you can control is your own life, and as long as you're looking towards other people to make it better or worse for you, then you're just fucked. Like,
Yeah.
I know that in certain moments of my life, when I'm sad, I know why I'm sad, and I know that I'm the exact effect of it. And when I'm happy, also I know that I'm happy because I made the choice to be happy, because I
Yeah.
made the choice of who I'm gonna be around,
Sometimes there's the choices of
what I'm gonna do.
I got out of bed today.
Hmm.
I exercise. I like. I mean, with
Yeah,
exercise, I mean, but what like I
I
bike.
walked, I did
I
something.
biked. For me, is always the like.
Yeah,
Whenever I bike, I'm like, I made this decision,
yeah,
and I feel better because of the
yeah.
decision that I made. And happiness will never be brought to you.
Yeah.
True happiness will come from within you. And I don't have that right now.
Mm-hmm.
And for some motherfucker to come here and tell me, like, this is because of this is because of this, you will always, your whole life, be deeply angry.
Yeah. And you'll never be happy.
You will never be happy. And wine will never taste good.
Mm-hmm. And bread. Oh, did you ever like just taste bread?
I love bread.
But like homemade bread, and you just break it open. There's so much beauty in this world.
Just a little butter.
It's
Just a
just
little butter.
for me. It's no, just bread.
I
Ju-
love just bread, but
Just a little butter. Just a little touch.
just a little butter.
But there's so much, and there's so many things of when people are
And
like,
you know what's
"Stop
my
and smell the flowers."
you know
I'm
what's
like,
my thing of
yeah.
that? You know what's my thing of that? Cold pizza.
Fucking people. Like there are so many little things in this world that I'm like,
No, and it's
it's
also
beautiful. It's a
also
beautiful
there's a
moment.
also there's I'm
I remember. Okay, can I tell you something? Very stupid
remind me
example
of
of.
my mom later.
Okay, your mom. Um, Stupid example of like there was one Sunday, and I was just by myself the whole day,
Yeah.
and I spent the entirety of the day binging a show. Okay, it's now
Which show?
12
Which show?
Criminal Minds.
Okay.
It's now 12 a.m. of the next day, so it's like the whole day I'm just like laying in bed, and in that moment, a certain level of ecstasy hits me, and I'm so happy.
I completely understand where you're coming
Where it's like this is something that started as a depressive episode has now become this grand feeling I haven't
get
felt
that.
in months.
I get that because it's the appreciation of somebody else's art, even if you're not even if you're not watching fucking Schindler's List.
Yeah, to just
But
be
there
like,
are
oh my god, I'm doing
moments.
like
Yeah.
I don't know, it just happens, and like enjoy that.
I
Your
we as
mom.
my mom. I want to be a bit more like her in
Yeah.
some aspects.
Yeah.
And I notice something that this woman is doing
Mm-hmm.
is she actively tries to put happiness in other people's lives without being like, I'm here to tell you a joke. I'm here to tell you that because I've been that since the start.
Yeah.
There was a kid in my primary school who wasn't used to like his mom leaving. He always cried.
Yeah.
And he stopped the day I sat next to him.
Because you yapped.
Because every single other child was just like, hey, it's gonna be okay. And then I was just like, hey, it's gonna be because she leaves every day. Come on,
She's gonna come back. What are you crying about, weirdo?
come back. Oh my god, your mom is so strong.
Yeah.
Such a strong woman.
She's just sitting with him like Drew Barrymore. I know, and it's so
And your
important.
mom is so strong.
So strong, and it's
So
so
strong.
important that you let her have this moment of leaving and then coming back
Because
to
your mom
see
has
you.
this beautiful life
And
that
she's so
involves you,
nice.
but doesn't always have to.
Yes, and you can't keep hurting her this way. And you have to understand.
And he's just like, I'm too confused to cry.
What is happening?
And I remember one time he was like, there was a play with SpongeBob was there for 3 minutes. Fuck that play. To this day, I remember.
Like 6 going, like, what is this trash?
SpongeBob was only there for 3 minutes. SpongeBob was promised on the main board. There's like Drew Barrymore dying in the first 15 minutes of screen.
I will not stand for it, I tell you.
Not again.
Not again.
Um, and I remember hearing his mom say like, he was like, "Mom, don't go," and she was like, "Hey, it's okay, John's here." And I'm like, there are moments where you have to stop and remind the beautiful, nice things about yourself without like because I would love for the guy that I love just coming now and hugging me and being like everything's gonna be okay. Sure, I would like that,
Yeah.
but that's momentary.
Yeah.
Me remembering myself and all the things that I like about myself is so much more powerful. And I don't care that most of it comes from childhood because to this day I'm that person. It's just that you're not crying when your mom has to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just like I know what I bring into these people's lives.
Yeah.
But I can always do more by being like doing that when I'm not here.
Mm-hmm.
My mom always did that with little presents and leaving notes.
Yeah.
And I left you
That was so fun. Like I came in
so like loving.
so loving and so beautiful because I came. Okay, so there was I come from work the other
Also, we
day.
didn't see each other in a week.
Yeah,
So, not to suck my own dick, but I know it's been hard for you.
yeah.
First
Just
of
to be
all, like
like,
the breakup, and then like also like
yeah,
instantly after that, I'm bedridden
yeah.
for like a
So I'm
week.
just like, oh, I'm not alone. But I walk in because he came by to walk the dog and he left home, and then I just see like a little note that says "for the soul," and he brought incense sticks and Xanax, and I had to take a picture of it.
Something that my mom, I mean, not with Nana.
Yeah,
Like I remember
for the
being
soul.
waking up in the morning, and like she would make
Yeah,
a trail of
candy.
candy
Yeah,
for me to come to
yeah.
breakfast.
Isn't that just so
Like
darling?
it really like I feel like I'm gonna cry, but I'm not because I'm a soulless fucking human. Um, but it's those things where it's like you have to like recently at Amado's place. At first, it sucks that a lot of it's material,
Mm-hmm.
but like at Amado's place, you have like a squish toy of like a cow, and like all of their like the limbs and the everything was half torn off.
Mm-hmm.
Of me being a guy, I just plucked
Oh,
playing with all of them. And then the next day, I was like, they didn't have a cow, but they had a koala. I'm like, thank you. You know, that. Mm.
but like you say, material. I don't think that counts as material. I feel like it's material would be like, here's a necklace.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying like it is a lot of people don't think about material as like leave a note, leave a
Mhm.
little thing. You do this for you.
No,
The
it's
thing is, I
genuine.
can't move shit for you because God knows what's gonna happen
Yeah.
with this beast.
This little guy. No, but even just having a dog too is such a like. Also having like us when we s- made the decision to get like a dog together, we weren't as close as we are now.
Yeah.
So it was like a
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
at the time I didn't think about it, but now looking back, I'm like that was a rash. Like
Yeah.
it's both of our
It
dogs
wasn't
to be
rash
like
for me. 'Cause I
okay,
was like, because I'm a rash person.
yeah,
And I was like, hey,
yeah,
stop and think about this.
yeah. No, no, I don't mean rash decision as in get
Yeah.
a dog. I mean rash decision as in get a dog together.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, I have trust in this person
Yeah.
for me and for you to be like, hey, this is gonna be my thing.
You're leaving me your keys.
Yeah.
You know, like
Not even that. It's just okay, so we together brought into our lives a living thing,
yeah.
living, breathing thing, and that we were both had enough trust in each other to be like, I know you will take care of it when I'm not around.
Yeah.
And that was like a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, now looking back then it was such a like, yeah, let's do it, like, whatever. But like it I don't think I would do it with anybody, you
Yeah.
know?
No,
And it's
it
like,
is weird that we back then knew that it was like
yeah.
because we are not like our friendship isn't special in a way that I've had friendships that felt more special
Okay.
that ended quite.
I'm like,
But I'm saying
okay.
they end quite more quickly.
Yeah.
You can say that like our best moments can be compared with probably your and Bogdan's best moments.
No, no, I know what you mean. It's
Like
very
our
like,
best moments can be compared with mine and Amar's best
yeah.
moments. But like it's about the longevity and
Yeah.
standing the test of time
Yeah.
and because like I feel like it's yesterday and today we had this big moment of like we're here and we haven't seen each other in a week
Yeah.
and that is nothing.
But
It's
like, it's
everything.
everything.
We do this and I hate it. It's like nothing, but it's all the
Yeah, like,
things.
I love it though. Whenever I write like to this point, like I wrote a poem recently, and
How passe can you get?
I had to make a conscious decision to not go like it was the dark and then it was the light. Like I always go for the opposites to be a dramatic, and I was like, no, don't.
Um, no, but I get what you mean. But it was like I feel like we're in a weird moment where we really appreciate each other.
Yes.
And it's we're not used to it and it's but if for the first time we are saying affectionate things to each other
Yeah.
without fully being like
Ew.
you
No, but because I feel like it's known. Like I'm
it is
not being
known it
here.
is known but it
Yeah.
is I
Because I
feel
feel
like
like the
I'm
first
gonna get
time.
weirdly emotional it is we are in a moment where we do need each other.
Yeah.
And we have never been in a moment where we
Yeah.
both needed each other.
Yeah.
Because, like, in my worst times, I just shut down and that's something I handle with myself.
Yeah.
So, like, if I want to kill myself, that's my business. That's not your
It's not
business.
your
And
business.
I've worked hard for it to be my business
Yeah.
because I fucked up friendships
Yeah.
making it their business. And that is something definite. And that's something that nobody will ever help me with. And that's, you don't have to worry about that at all in your life. But I need this
Yeah.
right now
Yeah.
because I feel unloved. And of course, I'll never feel unloved from you or Amina or Honest.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's good to remind myself that,
There are people.
first of all, that there are people and that these people aren't idiots for making that choice.
Yeah.
Because that when I'm alone, that's the thought that I get.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Honest just didn't have anybody
Yeah.
else. Selma, I'm just the only person that comes to her house. You know?
Fully.
And then I'm also like, no choices. And then I go like, oh, these people actively make a choice
Yeah.
in trusting me, and there is a reason why.
Yeah.
And I myself have to work for that reason. But like experiencing that firsthand
Yeah.
is very important. And it's yeah, I like my thing with you
Yeah.
is when we started hanging out, and I was like, oh, mostly always my male friendships are more important than
Mm-hmm.
female friendships, and I was like, fuck you, and I was like, oh no, of course you're more important to me than Amo.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things where it genuinely didn't feel, because I get that way sometimes of intensity, but not. No, I don't. I'm lying. But intensity of a way of like I'm gonna
Pick that
create
up
it.
from me, by the way.
Yeah, but in a way of like I'm putting this in my head way more than what it is,
Okay.
like I'm creating this imagery of what our relationship is, and it's whatever
Yeah.
most of the time. But like with you, it just felt natural of like,
Yeah.
yeah, you'll show up and we'll hang, and then it went to
And
like,
there's no need to make like a plan or anything.
yeah,
There's
it's
no,
just hey.
yeah.
And it's good to have the security of somebody that you're just there.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's not something I think about. It's not something I'm like, I have to put effort into keeping this relationship alive. It's
Yeah.
just like hey, you're here and I'm here, and that's
And that's
just
that
it.
and but that's all it needs to be.
Exactly.
It comes to question your other like relationships in life of how much you had to work
Yeah,
on a
towards,
person.
because like for
Because people did have to work on me, especially honest, because of my anxiety and shit like that. But it came to a point of like, I'm just glad I survived that. Let's
yeah,
move on.
yeah,
And that is, it's great. And it's weird because I can't get mushy with Honest now because I got so mushy with him so often.
hmm.
It's just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Just shut up.
Just shut up and play this video
Yeah.
game with me. And it's a thing of sometimes he does like one time he sent me a thing of like send this to your bro even though you're drifted apart and I was like bro no and
What
he
do
was
you
like it
mean?
was a joke and I was like okay
What?
like this
Yeah.
long of a paragraph and he was like it was
Okay.
a joke. I'm like, okay, um, no, but there's I don't care what people say with how we treat each other. Me sending somebody memes is love.
Yeah.
It's like send this like send this to bro.
Send this to
He's
bro
my
when bro.
bro. He's my bro.
And there's also a thing of, okay, I love people where I don't have to make a. It's gonna make me sound so bad. I hate
I've said
the.
so many bad things during this thing. I sucked my dick for 20 minutes. Like it's
I hate the. Let me know when you get home, and then if you don't, I'm mad at you.
uh
I hate that so much.
I mean
I don't.
I've never experienced getting mad at somebody for not getting because my thing is I affect people. People are just like, okay, I'm thinking how done things now.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
in the given setting.
yeah. Yeah, but I'm
And
like, I never have to. I don't have the responsibility to be like, Hey, hi, I'm good. How are you? Are you good? Okay,
Yeah,
great. We're
we're
good.
good. We're checking, just
Cause
checking
I
out, just checking
know,
out, just checking out,
yeah, just like with
just checking
that.
out, checking out. Like
Cause like people will
mental
do
health
that.
check. Are you okay?
Mm.
Mm,
And then people be like, okay, let me know when you get home. And then I just like do my shit and then I don't. And then it's like I feel shitty because I'm like, oh, am I just being selfish? Am I being these
yeah,
things where like people actually care about me and I'm being like a dick about it? But then I'm just like, I don't have to do that with you. And
yeah,
there are people where it can just be easy of like, you're not doing a performative act because
yeah.
that's all it
It,
is.
it it isn't a performative act for me. It's like I think I will never make it. I will never put the onus on the person.
Yeah.
I will put the onus on myself
Hmm.
because like with the guy that I was courting with, I keep finding new ways
Yeah.
to imply. Um, I was like, I want to talk more,
Yeah.
definitely. And even if we lived close, I would never be like, text me when you get home.
Yeah.
I want to know you're safe.
Yeah.
I would be like, I will be okay by
Hmm.
knowing that, I'm gonna be honest with you, doesn't come from a place of care for what
It
happens to
comes from
you,
a place of
because I do
remember
not.
me.
It comes from a place of remember me, because I do not fear that you're gonna get beaten up by the
Hmm.
time you get home. I
Yeah.
do not have that in my system. That is just something that I'm
Yeah.
not used to,
Yeah.
and that's it. And they're like flirted with a guy from Zagreb,
Hmm.
I remember him, and he was like, "You never asked me about my day," and I was like, "Well, we started the conversation. You're gonna tell me about it."
Yeah. Duh. No, I hate the whole like their bullet points. I hate the
Yeah.
bullet points because it's like you
But
are
it's
not
different with
feeling that.
different people, because like with some people, I will be like, "Hey, here is a reminder of my affection towards you,"
Hmm.
and that is fine. I will add with those people, but
Hmm.
as long as it's legit,
Yeah.
as long as it comes from a place of actual like, it's like text me when you get home is a point of like,
Okay.
let let me know that you didn't go with your
Yeah.
toxic ex.
Yeah.
Let me know that you're still my friend
Yeah.
when this is over.
Hmm.
That's the let me know when you get home. Because there are social cues that are purely there for a strategical reason. Let me get the bill, you'll get it next time. There's gonna be a next time.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, that's all fine. I feel like I genuinely don't operate out. And I have a thing of it's either ADHD related or autism related, some of those, where it's like if I'm not in the room with you, you don't exist. I cannot explain it,
Okay.
but and it's not that I don't care about
Yeah, of
people.
course.
Like Amela is not here right now. I'm not thinking about
Yeah.
her. But it's like we're together, it's fun, it's great, it's whatever. But if you're not here right now, I wouldn't be like, "Oh, what's John doing?"
Yeah.
It
There's
doesn't
there's
cross
no
my mind.
sense of worrying.
Yeah.
It is I get that. I
Like
understand that.
nothing exists other
There's
than
like
what's around me right now.
no, people are now checking up on me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is so weird.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful. Mea culpa, mea culpa. I'm thankful, and it's great. And it's but there are certain people where I'm like, I would be much more happier if you checked up on me
Hmm.
than you. Because like if my work husband checked up on me,
Yeah.
I'd be like, this is a great thing because I don't know what your care is towards me.
Yeah.
And if I know your level of care towards me and you're checking up on me, I'm like, you should know how I'm feeling. You should know it by heart. You should not like, you should know that it's an oscillating thing and you're basically playing a lottery,
Yeah.
fighting me out. That's just something that you should know. So I'm saying like, it's the different states. And then I feel like people get into like the pre-friendship state too long,
Hmm.
where it you need to ask
Yeah.
and you need to check up and you need to do things like that.
Yeah.
I don't.
And it's
I
annoying.
don't. I'm
I
I'm
don't want
friends.
to.
I'm friends very quickly
Yeah.
because I don't play.
Yeah. I
I
don't.
play a lot of shit. I
I
don't
don't
play in
play.
real life.
No,
I don't do
I don't
those.
like it, and I think we've gotten to a place of genuine, like, I don't know, like comfortability, just to be like, hey, this is what it
Cause
is.
you let it.
Yeah.
Cause you let it because I am a fast friend
Yeah.
and I am very quickly like. This works, this doesn't work. I'm
Right.
fine with you. I have in the past. I have been known to be like trying to be friends with males, even though I know that it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like I've told you, I've been on like I've talked to guys and I'm like out with them, and the one thing that I hate on God's green earth, if there's
Mhm.
anything that I hate, it's a conversation where I have to think about what to say.
Yeah.
And
We'll stop.
now I'm like, okay, so now I'm wondering how my brain works when I'm talking to you, because that's what I start thinking when I talk to a guy, and I'm just like, hey,
Well, now what?
so like you like Batman, right? Oh, then
Mm-hmm.
no one should look
Yeah.
And it comes to a point of like I
For sure. Anymore.
don't want to force it anymore. Especially I don't want to force it with people who don't have fucking passions.
Yeah.
You go to the gym.
Passions are
You
so
go to the
important
gym.
to
You
me.
drove here. It's a 5 minute walk.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Two dumb bitches going, exactly.
Exactly.
No,
No,
but
because
it's
it's like,
I need somebody who's passionate about about shit, and even if it's not like
and I am over, and that's why I'm your best friend.
yeah,
I am overflowing with passion.
yeah. But it's also like you'll talk to me about games,
Yeah,
video game. I know nothing, and I will like I know nothing,
yeah,
and I love listening to it
yeah,
because it's like you have a thing that you enjoy
yeah,
that makes you happy, and I love to see it, and I
yeah,
love to be around that kind of energy.
yeah,
Okay, I love the vibes, and even me being so like and I see it how it affects other people too when I talk about because like okay the other like yesterday with Amela I went out to like at the end of the shift we were smoking and I was like talking about Purim edits but I got so into it being like
yeah,
this is the story that happened here da, 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 da. And then like she texted me being like oh that was so fun when we talked outside because it was like
yeah,
like I just I want that around me I want
yeah.
people who have that because if you don't it's boring.
It's
Boring.
just like why are you living your life?
Yeah.
Because it is a level of sadness to be like, oh, he's living his life to play video games. I am living my life to experience art.
Yes.
And I'm living my life to prove to everybody that video games are art, that comic books are art, that visual novels are. So I'm on 30 different playing fields. I'm trying to convince video gamers that visual novels are a form of video game, and I'm trying to convince non-video gamers that there are video games that are artful, and at the same time being real about what I am. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that Bayonetta is equal to the Sixteen Chapel, but
Yeah.
I will say that fucking Gris
Is.
and I will tell you that there, like, you can read a. I will never forget this. I was reading Dylan Dog, right? And I have them. I bought a lot of them, so they're just next to my table. And when I feel like it, I pick one up and read it, and then put it on the red pile. It's great. And I was reading it, and I was just like, there was one about like a werewolf, and it was cool. The next one was about like a deep dive into alcoholism,
Yeah.
and it's like, what will come next?
Yeah.
And for me to
I think this is
I'm
gonna be
also
like a two-part podcast.
no, it's gonna be a 4 hour. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna upload that. I'm just gonna say something about something I said. I'm also passionate about my hatred toward Taylor Swift
There you
because I
go.
love art,
Yeah.
and
She's
she is the
ruining it.
antithesis of art.
Ruined. It's
You're
ruined.
ruined,
Ruined.
ruined. Because I'm
Um,
saying like,
yeah, my thing is,
listen to any Taylor Swift song. Listen to fucking the least known Adele song.
oh,
Listen to Hello.
yeah,
Listen to
fully.
like the most well known but the most like quote unquote commercial song.
Yeah.
So much more emotion,
Yeah.
so much more power, and you're telling me that she's the best writer of our time.
No, another. My point of art in general is I had this little debate with the third guy, which was, well, what if I told, he said the sentence that I will remember forever. What if I told you that art is actually objective and not subjective? And I'm like, no, it's not.
No,
You know why? What you consider to be art is objective. art in itself is subjective.
I think what you consider to be art is very subjective.
No,
If
but
I'm
like
being
you
honest.
can't compare like okay, Taylor Swift and Adele. Objectively speaking,
Some bitch.
some bitch will, but I'm saying
And that's
objectively
her
speaking,
that's her prerogative.
that's her prerogative. But it's not. What I'm saying is like you can, like even
There is a weight.
that's what I'm saying. Like you have
to
paintings, you have a painting made by a 3-year-old, you have a painting made by fucking
yeah.
Picasso, whatever. I'm saying like there is differences to it, and there is something that is like objectively this is art,
Yeah.
objectively this is not. But art in itself
I
is
think is do we have batteries? Oh, we have batteries. Okay.
art in itself is something that's very subjective because it's something that might like video games in themselves will
Look at this book.
yeah
Look at this book that we're reading right now. It is strict like it is about time.
yeah
It made us think about so many
so many
things.
different things, and it's
I mean, most of them are society
yeah.
based, but you know,
But it's so like a lot of this can be applied to capitalism too.
absolutely.
A lot of this can be
A lot
applied
of
to
everything can be applied to everything.
everything. Exactly.
No, but that's also like also what I mean when I lose interest in you. What I talked about recently.
Mhm.
I lose interest in you if you don't. Like, if you go like, if you like The Simpsons, that's so weird.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't care what you think. Simpsons are art.
Yeah.
Like, it's um, and you know what I hate when I go like video games are art, and then people go, oh yes, because it involves many of the arts. It involves painting. It involves writing. It involves no, not the specific things that
Yeah. In
the
itself,
specific things that constitute a video game. Sure, they are art, but that is not the art I'm talking about. I'm
yeah.
talking about the finished product
Exactly. Yeah.
that is an art.
Yeah.
Because because movies are considered art, film
Yeah.
is considered art, and you're telling me that
Yeah. Being like movies are art because you film stuff, and then there's also writing,
yeah,
and then the writing is the art of it. Yeah. No,
no,
I know
because
what you
there are movies where like it's more of the writing, and there are movies where it's like more of the filmography.
mean. Yeah.
Because like take an Inside Number 9 episode
Mhm.
and take a fucking it's a like a more well directed film. Take a Fleabag episode.
Yeah.
Well, Fleabag has great writing, but
Mhm.
Fleabag is way more interesting than the way it's
Yeah.
done. But it's just, and I'm supposed to sit here for somebody to tell me that their favorite DC movie is great, and I'm supposed to have understanding that
That
you
it
have
has
some
gravitas.
that you have some like
There's a thought behind that. No, but I'm saying it's also like I understand. Like
I will always understand watching things just for the fuck of it.
just for the fuck of it.
What's one of
And
our favorite movies? Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia, hey. No, but what I'm saying is like there are things that are objectively so much better, but then me subjectively, I'm gonna look at again Suleiman Tungsten,
Mm.
and I'm gonna watch that and be like, oh my god, this like I know what it is. I think if you have an understanding of, I'm not sitting here telling you
Mm.
that it's the best thing in the world. Like
No.
I understand what it is, but then it brings out something inside of me that I can't explain, but it's fun for me and
Yeah.
I love it. And that's I think what art
Yeah.
is supposed to
I
be.
will never rewatch Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
Always rewatch Mamma Mia.
There you go. It's just what it is.
It's the different shades of blue.
Yeah.
Mm. I feel like Future probably
We should really just
figuring
die.
out the last 4 months.
Fucking I don't know. I've talked about everything.
Yeah.
Molly, my mother of the week is
Man, you know what my mother of the week is? And I'm gonna be so honest to you right now.
tell me.
I'm gonna be so honest with you right now.
Mm.
You know who? Okay, I've had my mother once
Mhm.
on the pot, like she was mother of the week.
Yeah.
Fucking nobody.
Fucking me.
Nobody. I had myself once.
Okay.
I had us once.
Yeah.
I had us together, and that would fit too. I'm saying I was sick. I
Mhm.
was heartbroken, and there are people that came to help me. But at the end of the day, I was so alone in sickness and in a mental downfall.
Sickness and then
In
not,
sickness and in health.
yeah, and not health and not wealth.
And, and I'm just like, I have nothing. Not if I don't have you. I just have nothing because I don't have you.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I am every woman.
Mm.
It's all in me.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, nothing, nothing,
Thing.
nobody is mother. These 2 weeks, nobody was mother to me. I've had a lot of people be kind and appreciative and very loving to me, and I would love to thank you and John and the fucking like the dogs I saw on the street. But at the end of the day,
Nothing.
I came home
To
to a
nothing.
to a deep darkness.
Yeah.
There was a game that came out on my birthday. Underwhelming. It's the guys who made Chris
No,
made
yeah.
it, and I'm just like, it's nice, it's cute, it's everything that Chris was, except it isn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the level of depth to it that I
Mm.
would. I don't hate it. I don't, but I'm just like, Chris is in my top 3 favorite games of all time. This
Mhm.
is not in my top 50.
Yeah. Well, my mother of the week is Nala.
Love Nala. Love Nala.
Nala. She's this neighborhood dog, and then every time I walk my dog when I come home from work, we go like do a circle, and then I just go like, "Where's Nose?" And then she just runs to us, and we just kind of play together. And she's just the cutest, nicest little dog, and she's so hyperactive and so like loves life, and I
Mm.
love her. So yeah, she's my
Yeah.
mother of the week.
So this is our first 3-hour podcast.
How do you feel?
So you can either, well, I mean, nobody's gonna listen to
Nobody's gonna.
this.
I'm not gonna listen to this.
I might. So you can either watch this or like, what's a good 3-hour movie? You can watch half of Titanic. You can
You
watch
can watch.
a sixth of the House of Gucci.
You can watch the intro to House of Gucci.
You can think of the idea of House of Gucci. You can watch the trailer of House of Gucci.
Gosh.
Worst 7 years of my life. 20 years.
I miss my child, my grandchild's graduation tomorrow.
And I went in a virgin.
Jesus, it's 1 a.m.
It is 1 a.m.
My
So yeah,
God.
bye.
Why?